Hello. Hi. Hi, Pulapo. What's up? Hi, seriously. What's up? I'm eating real quick because I forgot to eat and I'm kind of hungry. But I had an idea, right? Regards to Umineko episode 2 that I want to elaborate upon right now. I want to elaborate upon it right now. Got a frozen pizza. I got food right in front of me that's hot. I need to eat it soon and fast. We're in 720p now. By the way, we are currently on 720p. So I don't know if the quality is any good. I hope still good. Yeah. People voted for 720p. In mass. So, you know. Let me pull up Umineko episode 2. Start. And let me boot up Umineko. There we go. Let's go directly to one of the games so we can have music. Because I want some music. Here, right here. We stopped early last time.
ええ、あれは忘れもしない。
Okay, well, I don't know how long I was muted, but I was. I was saying, right, that we're on episode 2. Right now? This is just the chop. Now, episode 4. We did episode 4, but like, right now I just want to address episode 2. I was wondering, right, every time there was a murder, every time there was a murder, there was always one of the servants involved. Always. And I was like, yeah, but like the servants wouldn't do it, right? Like, especially like, I don't know, Cannon and Shannon. I was like, nah, they would never do it. Why would they do it? Right? Why would they ever do it? It would make no sense. Except, if you look at every single one of them, right? First Twilight, I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you. But like, the key was in the guest... the key was in the guest house. Right? With Genji and Cannon, if I recall properly. So, like this, right? This one is Cannon and Jessica. So picture this. Cannon kills Jessica. Then... could he kill himself? He could kill himself and get someone else to like close the door, right? If there's another servant somewhere. I don't know where the other servant would be. Like, maybe it would be Genji, maybe it would be someone else. Who just goes and locks the door. Because, like, Cannon said, oh, I'm gonna take Jessica there, and I'm gonna kill Jessica. They go, okay, and then they go to close the door. So, the reason why... I keep switching by accident. The reason why it made no sense that the murderer would be inside the room was because I was like, there must be a third person. Because for some reason I was assuming that there was no way Kenan could do it. I was so fixated on the idea that there would be an 19th person. Especially with that Beatrice, right? But if that Beatrice orders furniture, who have been groomed since like age 0 to be the most loyal people ever, nothing tells me that they wouldn't like actually act on it, right? Like say, Kenan killed himself there, or at least escaped. Right? He left his master key inside to set it up as a Beatrice witch room. Okay, so let me just make a theory right there. Right? Theory. In order, Genji, Kenan are in the guest house. First twilight. They steal the key and do the mirrors with the other servants. I don't fucking know. That's the first twilight. Second twilight. Kenan kills Jessica. Kenan kills Jessica and then what? Leaves the room with his key behind. Another servant comes and closes it and locks it. Third twilight. I don't remember what the third twilight is. What's the third twilight? Jessica and Kenan. Right, it's Nenjo and Kumasawa. So it is Nenjo Kumasawa dies in the same room as Goda. Actually not loyal. Shannon. And maybe Kenan kills himself. No. Right? Something like this. I don't have the third twilight figured out. But like, in that room, there are 3 people, potentially 3, if you include... There was Genji too. There was Genji. Potentially 2. In the room, ready to kill Nenjo and Kumasawa. Fourth twilight. Why did Shannon die facing the mirror? Right? That's what I was fixated upon the entire time. I was like, why would Shannon die facing the mirror? The mirror must be key. So that means the mirror is like the bad guy here. The mirror is the one who shoots darts. Because there is no way that anyone would be able to shoot from a mirror. Right? Like, let me picture this. Right? Here's Shannon. Here's the mirror. Here's Shannon. Where could the gun be besides from here? The answer is easy. The gun could be here. The gun could just be right here. It's a suicide. It's a murder. Suicide. Kenan kills George, Goda, and herself. The doors are locked from the inside. She finishes herself off in front of the mirror. Maybe as a message. I don't know. Right? Maybe she was forced to do it. She was forced to kill them. Like, you gotta consider. I think it's important. You gotta consider that even if those furnitures believe that they're like human or some bullshit, they are completely, fully believing in the Tale of the Witch. So if we're told, if you kill everyone here, you are guaranteed to go to the Golden Land, and you do it in this very fashion, you are guaranteed to go to the Golden Land. Right? If that's what we're told, then surely, like, I can't imagine them, like, believing it and actually acting out upon it. It goes somewhat against the characterization we saw in episode 2, but that does not mean that it's false, right? What we saw is just as real as, I don't know, devil's proof. It doesn't make it stupid. This is one possible explanation why she died. Or she was moved. Why? Frame it. Murder suicide. Here we go. What did Ray say about the people's death in the room? Oh, Kenan was killed in this room. No, yeah, it still works. It still works. If Kenan dies in that room, dies in the room, too, with his key behind, another servant comes and locks it. Here. Right? So like that's one way. And then this one is false. Because Kenan died. Move yourself. Here we go. So it's not Kenan. You're right. What about the other ones? Does she say Natsui's room was exactly the same? There were no photos of tricks. The inside of the room was sealed off. Natsui's own key was in Joel's pocket. So far, it doesn't. The fact that it's a suicide does not, not make it not make sense. Nothing says that it couldn't be a suicide. Nothing says that it couldn't be a suicide. At no point in time. Right? And so, the fifth Twilight. Fifth, Genji is left alone. I don't know. Wait. Genji, Kinzo, 19th, left alone. Don't know how I need to think further. Bay bypasser. It's also important. Can also maybe believe Rosa could be in on it. She was in the cutscene right before Twilight. I almost forgot about that cutscene, by the way. The one where Rosa, Kiri, etc., all the others are in the chapel, and she never mentioned it. At no point in time did she ever mention that they saw the witch, and they had to say they acknowledge her. So like, what if the witch showed them gold and said, I'm gonna kill 6 people or something? Whoever's left, someone raise their hand. If they help me, I kill everyone but them. Right? And then that person is going to accompany me in order to get the gold. Right? Nothing about that is impossible. Nothing. So far, I don't see... There's probably a like, there are unexplained things. I think that's important to also acknowledge. There are unexplained things in this theory, but none of the statements I made are contradicted. As far as I'm aware. I'll need to think about it further. There are unexplained things. It's just because I did not... If I wanted to explain them, I would need to like look at the screen for like 5 to 10 minutes to come up with something. And I don't think you guys want to see that, because I do that in silence. It would not be entertaining. Thank you, Butler. Let me save that. Gonna be the Umineko chart 2. Here we go. Now we open Umineko chart 4. There you go. And paint, thank you. Not much on it yet, but like nothing has happened yet, so like, you know, can't really make things up. The stake links are so small. I wonder if it's like an actual eye chart online. That would be interesting to see. Anyways, let's keep going then. Let's start from where we left off, but first let me just finish my pasta really quick. There's an actual eye chart someone made. Maya is the tallest 8-year-old. I would love to see that. If you can, like, if you send it, just like black box all the non-canon. If you want to, like, no, the spoiler ones. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'll just see it when I become Yumi full. Way too spoilery. Can you at least give me Maria's height? I would like to know that. Let's go. 20 minutes spent on theories. Everyone is very similar. Except the stakelings were like 5 centimeters in height. Who knows? Yes, I will never forget that. It happened in April of 1987. Received a certain strange request from a friend. I assume it's onigiri. Right? There was a large collection of books, the former possessions of a very rich man's, that were being sold at auction. It was thought that some of them might have been extremely valuable to the study of archaeology and folklore, as well in an occult sense. So this friend wanted to witness their work confidentially, and he stole everything. I was 87. Half a year after the crime on Rokkenjima. Correct. It was explained that those books had escaped the disaster on Rokkenjima. The owner of the island, Mr. Shiromiya Eva, had put them up for auction. It's apparently a high-class one. Yeah, you can see that because the counter is made of gold. Pure solid gold. Or fool's gold, who knows. A middle-aged man was sitting across from Ange in a secluded and quiet seat. Okay, question. I don't know if it's just a Japanese thing, right? But... What is this? What are those? Those things, right there. What's that? Is that like soy sauce? Is this red pepper? Okay, I'm getting distracted by the most random shit ever. I need to stop. I need to move on. Okay. I ain't got a clue. I mean, if someone's an expert in like Japanese culture who knows why would have red bottle, Let me upgrade this. Gate. Fuck is that? Gololi man across from man spoke well, but with enthusiasm. He didn't lay a finger on the food in front of him, so you could tell how excited he was as he spoke fervently. He was a professor at a certain college, and particularly well known as an authority on Western folklore. Your face is drooping, dude. It's literally melting right off your face. You need to do something about that. However, among his life works, a convenient exterior. It's the same as like that Junji Ito manga. Messed up. Poor guy. His true life work was the study of occultism, Western magic, alchemy, and everything else to do with the occult. As well as demonology. Which means, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt again. I do highly suggest you go read Junji Ito's Dissolving Classroom. Especially, I think it's called like Melting Face. That one's pretty good. Junji Ito is good at R in general. Yeah, let's continue. In short, he was a person in the best position to understand the details of Kinzo. Hello. It's gonna be a photo, I bet you. I knew it. I assume the photo means side character you'll never see again. Right? Which would surprise me because, like, you know, Kasumi. Anyways, Utsuki. Professor at a certain college, well known as an authority, okay. He's also famous for his hobby, researching the Rokenjima witch legend, one of the witch hunters. Plural. Primary focus of the witch hunt is the pasting together of occult stories to try and make them match with the Rokenjima incident, making it much more of a mental game for dilettantes and enthusiasm of the mystical than a scientific investigation into the truth of the crime. Thought he was the person in the best position to understand the detail of Kinzo's research. First, what I learned by appraising these books was that Mr. Shirmiyaeva had absolutely no education in the study of folklore, and that the original owner of the books, Shirmiya Kinzo, was certainly one of the top 5 authorities on demonology in Japan. April 1987. A major city antique shop obtained a large quantity of ancient documents that were thought to have a high historical value. They were entrusted with them by Shirmiyaeva, who wanted them to be sold. At the time, it was thought that Eva would succeed the Shirmiya family and have all the wealth to herself, as the only survivor. However, at that point, not even half a year had passed since the accident, and the others had not been missing long enough to be presumed dead, even under extraordinary circumstances. Oh, so they were missing? Was it framed as like they were on a boat during the thunderstorm or some shit? But that wouldn't make sense. Why would the bodies be like... I mean, technically, if they dumped the bodies out to sea, super far offshore, no one's gonna find them. They can classify it as like a disappearance. They can say they had an accident on a boat, right? And like, if it's 2 kilometers deep, I don't think they had submarines back then that were like able to go that deep. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know why I'm saying this. I would not know. Maybe they did. And since she tried to sell everything of value, and even the books kept in the place where she'd escaped harm in, to a Dorian, were used for this purpose. These old books, which would eventually be called the Shirmiya Library, were later gathered from antique shops by authorities in the field so that they could be appraised. And those authorities were astounded. At least speaking from the perspective of occultism, the impact of that discovery on the world was comparable to the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is because, contained within the Shirmiya Library, was many extremely vital documents that had never been found, though their existence had been known of for more than a millennium. Did he have the fucking Necronomicon? The many dreams of the occult, such as those represented by alchemy, always stirred an intense fascination in dilettantes. What is dilettante? We've used that word like 3 times already. person who cultivates an area of interest such as the arts without real commitment on knowledge. Oh, so it's an amateur. Okay. It is whispered that many magic books of great historical value, currently unknown to the public, might be in the secret possession of extremely wealthy lovers of the occult. Items, such as Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, which are particularly popular among dilettantes, are said to be a prime example of this. It is said that approximately 5,000 pages of these notebooks currently exist, and that over 10,000 have been lost. But some researchers believe that a large part of this lost portion may be monopolized by certain enthusiasts and members of the extremely rich. It is said that because of this, even now, dilettantes can't help but seek despair at no expense. We can't help but seek despair at no expense to search around for quietly ordered away and unannounced notebooks. There's probably no doubting that Ushirimiya Kinzo was himself one of those dilettantes. No one knows what Kinzo went through to obtain those, but there can be no mistake that he used his vast wealth freely, buying them off of other rich people with the same hobby as him. Those books, which were so valuable that enthusiasts could never satisfy their desire to hoard them away, were discovered in large numbers at the end of the 20th century. Their release to the public had given the entire world a massive shock. Because of this case, the name Rokunjima became known across the world. The world was also shocked to learn that, in all likelihood, a large number of even more valuable and discovered books were lost during the incident on Rokunjima. The fuck? Because of this, the names of Rokunjima and the Ushirimiya Library will remain in our memories for all time. Our memories. That "our" probably meant the occult neck of the woods with the same hobby as Kinzo. Because of that incident, the name of Rokunjima had taken on a vital meaning in the world of the occult. I see. There certainly had been a lot of reporting about the accident of Rokunjima himself, but not on an international level. Yeah, that would have surprised me, right? Just like 19 people disappeared, it's not that big. However, this one part had spread across the world, taking the image of Rokunjima as a small island in the Uzuka archipelago, and painting it over as a demonic island, where riddles, suspicion, mystery, and the occult met. In other words, until Kinzo's library was leaked to the public by Eva, Rokunjima had been merely a nameless island that no one could remember, and certainly not the island of a witch. However, when knowledge of the Ushirimiya Library spread all over the planet, Rokunjima's image immediately took on an occult twist. What happened next was the discovery of that message bottle. That's what turned that island into a witch's island. The nameless island in the Ozuki archipelago began to transition into an island of the occult, the island of the mysterious witch, Beatrice. You might say that, like in either the Ushirimiya Library or the message bottle, a Rokunjima witch legend would never have been established. The message bottle. Right, the one Maria sent. A form of communication to an unspecified target by throwing an empty bottle with a letter sealed inside it into the sea. It was once famous as a way of sending an SOS from a desert island, because of the influence of a certain prominent foreign detective novel. It has also become known as a method of confessing the truth of one's own death, like a time-delayed will. What are they referring to? I don't know what they're talking about. The case of the Rokunjima message bottle was certainly one of the latter. This is a thing that everyone says a fisherman on a nearby island picked up. Correct. We learned that a young fisherman on Shikinjima picked up a wine bottle with a letter in it. This young fisherman kept it just out of curiosity. Then, because Rokunjima had fallen under the world's attention due to the Ushirimiya Library, he announced his discovery. Is there any chance that it was a fabrication made by the fisherman? Of course! We were unable to deny that possibility. The scraps of paper in the wine bottle were signed by a certain member of the Ushirimiya family. A girl named Ushirimiya Maria. However, after looking at the writing left on her former belongings, it was confirmed that this message was written in a different person's handwriting. Okay. That's big. That is actually pretty big. Wow, okay. Okay, I like this. This is good. This is the information I want. Yes. This is why she's 12 years in the future. Dun dun dun. A different person's handwriting?
さようです。
Correct.
少なくと
At
も
the very least, I believe there can be no doubt that it was written by a person more skilled at writing and of greater age than her. Wait, no. We're looking at chat. Oh, oops. Thank you. Different persons in writing. But no, this... Oh wait, no, they, yeah, they looked at the writing left on the front. But didn't they mention that on the diary it was, like, written extremely well? Like, the diary was kept by Ange. Like, wait. Let me write that. Diary was kept by Ange too. So maybe it didn't compare it to that. Ange mentioned it's well written. There we go. Okay, let's continue. Therefore, at that point in time, the contents of those scraps of paper were thought to have a very low credibility. However, later on, it was confirmed that a similar message bottle had been recovered from the nearby ocean on the day of the accident by the police in the search for a lost article, and this caused a sensation. It seems that, due to the evidence from the surrounding area and the fact that the bottle had been sealed, the police had decided that its likelihood of being a fabrication was low, and it had been abandoned no earlier than a few days before the accident. Before? What? Okay, let me lower it. This I'm gonna lower too because I don't need it that big. It's not that important. Here we go. Remove this. Okay. Few days. Okay, where are you leading with this? What do you mean few days? The handwriting for both matched, because the credibility of the scraps of paper discovered by the fisherman to rise. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. If these magazines and the like have reported on the contents of that message bottle repeatedly, would you like an explanation? No. I know about it, more or less. Many scraps of paper had been stuffed into both of the wine bottles. It was an extensive notebook written by someone calling themselves Ushurmiya Maria, but who wasn't Maria, and which told of the event starting the day before the accident, and up until the day of the accident in a diary-like way. And up until the day. And its contents being the beginning. Okay, that I don't care about. I just want to know what you mean by told of the event starting the day before and up until the day of. How would Maya have the time to like send it out to sea? That's my question. And its contents have been the beginning of the Golden Witch Beatrice's puzzle. Cool. It's like an ARG, but like for the real world. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I hope the streams are entertaining. Because it's hard to like make visual novels fun to watch, right? So I hope I'm managing that at least. Anyways, this bizarre diary-style notebook described as Ushurmiya family members nailed down on the island by the typhoon were caught up in a ceremony for the resurrection of a witch and killed one by one in inexplicable ways. The second you say you think you're doing great, the second I stumble on my words. That's a message. And in the end, the Golden Witch Beatrice survived, and everything was flowing into the Golden Land. It was written almost as though it was a complete account of the events on those days. Also, it depicted the current situation on the island at the time in great detail. The former servants who used to work for the Ushirmiya family give testimony that it had definitely been written by a human. We knew the inside details of the island. So, because of the combination of the occult boom from that strange fantasy novel and the Ushirmiya library, and well as the fact that the truth remained shrouded in darkness, the legend of the Rokujima witch was born. Correct. More than 10 years have already passed since that case, and it is still the focus of interest for occult enthusiasts across the world. No, to the contrary, you could say it has become increasingly deified as time passes. There are still many enthusiasts who try to secretly land on Rokujima, even though it's prohibited. Could there be another message bottle that still has not been discovered? And on that day, what really happened on the island? There is still much to be discussed. So he had finally remembered that it had been going on and on for some time. The man took a gulp of water. His pottage was getting cold, but it seemed that the man's hunger had already been blown away. Pretty sure I heard that the fisherman's scrap of paper and the police's scrap of paper had completely different contents. Correct. Due to that, interest in the Rokujima mystery increased even further. Inside both bottles were diary-style notebooks on which was written an account from the day before the accident until the day of the accident. However, while both of the contents describe the same 2-day period, they are completely different. Were they sending both episode 1 and episode 2? That could be fun, if that's what it turns out to be. Right? Wait. I don't want that. Here we go. 50. Here we go. I still don't know what it means. They were completely different. That would be interesting. What? Oops. Here we go. We know that it's true, even if it's not right truth, because a really trustable guy said it, right? So I can trust this fully without ever questioning it. That I know. It was as though one was the truth and one was a lie. Or perhaps both were lies. In any event, the beginning and endings alone matched each other. In the beginning, the ending people, including the relatives, are sealed up on the island by the typhoon. In the ending, everyone dies, the Golden Witch is revived, and everything is flung into the Golden Land, besides Battler. The contents of both message bottles wrote about the events of the day before the accident and the day of the accident. The details are completely different. Both theories outline a serial murder following the epitaph of the witch, the order of the sacrifices, the way they died, even the tales of the 2 days were different. Ah. It is episode 1 and 2. I don't need this to be this big. It's too big. Right? Like, it takes too much space. It's interesting, but it's not that important. Here, this is not even needed. Here we go. Just cleaning up a bit. Cleaning up my messes. There we go. However, in both, everyone died at the end, and the witch revived, making the same general plot. Okay. Okay. 15. Alright. So they adapted it into a movie. I bet you. He's gonna say that, like, the public interest was so great that someone bought the rights to the diaries and made a movie out of it. That would be funny. Because the only survivor, Miss Eva, has remained silent about what actually happened on that island. The events of that entire 2-day period are shrouded in darkness. These 2 diaries presented a full 2 theories to wipe away that darkness. Those 2 days could be explained with either of those diaries. However, we don't know which is correct, or even if there's anything correct contained within them. There's cat box. If it isn't denied, even a mixture of truth and fiction can be the truth. For the media, these scraps of paper had of course been shown to Eva as well, but in the end, she never broke her silence. Who sent the message bottles? And why? Earlier in the special issue for the Crime's 10th anniversary, a certain magazine took the topic up for discussion in a grand manner, didn't they? The theory seems to be the one garnering the most support lately. But it is rather dull. What happened on that island on that day? Considering this question is the true charm of the witch hunt. The witch hunt? Oh yes, the Rokonjima Witch Hunt is the name of a group of enthusiasts who try to explain the truth of that crime from an occult perspective. Yeah, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. Even if you had read truth, you could not be able to, like, explain this with magic. I mean, I guess mind control, if we're talking about, like, murder-suicide. I guess mind control. Yes. Anyways, discussion of the mysteries that surround the Rokonjima, from the Ishiromiya Library to the mysterious 2-day period to the legend of the Golden Witch. It's flourishing even today among enthusiasts. It was the 10-year anniversary. An international convention was held in New York. I also participated as a representative of Japan. I mean, convention. I was able to intermingle with zealous overseas witch hunters in many ways, which is a very popular category overseas. The age span of the participants stretched from elementary schoolers at the bottom, all the way to famous cultural figures at the top. Even in Japan in recent years, there was finally... You probably don't need any more explanation, but he's one of the most famous Rokonjima witch hunters in Japan. Even though I didn't ask anything more, he kept going on and on, excitedly, all by himself. As I swirled the thin film with my pottage with my spoon, I shrugged my shoulders and sighed. Looks like researching about the message bottle really was a waste of time. No, if there's one thing I found, that the notebook supposedly written by Maya was actually written by a different person faking a name. What? Why would you assume it's the other way around? That person wrote up an occult legend of their own, put it into the bottle. Oh, I misunderstood. Yeah, I misunderstood. They were talking about that notebook. I have a question. Why would they go to all the trouble of writing so much in order to prepare a suspicious letter like that? With a message bottle, there'd be no guarantee that it would ever pass into anyone's hands. If their luck had been bad, it could have sunk in the ocean. The Witch Hunters mentioned there is a reference to the Witch Hunt fan translation team. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's why they're called Witch Hunt. Right? That's why the fan translation is called that. I was wondering what the fuck Witch Hunt meant. Huh. That's fun. Even if someone had picked it up, they might not have cared about it and thrown it away. Why would they entrust the confession of the truth to the sea with such an uncertain method? And why would they write up multiple differing tales? If there had been one message bottle, claiming that its story was the truth might be reckless, but not impossible. However, because there were two, that made both of them doubtful. If someone was plotting to make out these 2 days to be the work of a witch, then they really did go one step too far. I mean, literally not. They explicitly mentioned that it gave it even more popularity. And because there were two, it suggests that an undiscovered third one, possibly even more, might exist. There might be 8 in total. Who knows? In other words, the 2 different contents make both of them harder and harder to swallow. But despite that, the contents of both match in that they told of a witch in a tale. So is that the main point the writer wanted to get across to us? Actually, no, it's feminism. That's the point the writer wanted to get you across. You silly. Don't you know Ryukushi? Your illiterate is sorry, you should know this. Dumbass. It seems to me that the only possible explanation is that someone wanted to give rise to an illusion of a witch, carried out this crime for their own enjoyment. However, 17 people other than Eva lost their lives, and the vast wealth of maybe even 10 tons of gold, and moved around secretly in the darkness. It doesn't feel right for a confession occurring after all that to bring up this illusion of the witch. Even if we ignore the magazine's theories, it's very doubtful that the message bottle really was a diary. After all, the amount of writing was massive. 120,000 words. It's hard to imagine that someone actually caught up in the middle of a serial murder like that would be able to calmly write it down. In that case, probably more realistic that this diary was written solely over a 6-month period of time, 4 months alternating, up until the day prior to the accident. It's a release. In that case, would it mean that everything on Rokujima was a planned crime, with everything prepared over a long stretch of time? The fact that Eva left this world without saying anything is infuriating. She definitely said it on her deathbed. She definitely said that a reason for not telling me the truth was because it was her best way of harassing me. Yeah, by now it's painfully obvious. All the things Eva did to harass me, this is probably the last and the greatest. But thinking of it this way, pretty doubtful that Eva is the true culprit. Of course, that's not because of the handwriting on the message bubble was different from Eva's, or anything like that. Because in both tales that were discovered, Eva was included among the victims. If the writer of that diary was the culprit, maybe Eva also was a target to be killed. Maybe Eva survived because something went wrong. Because I hated on Eva, I came to believe that she had to be the culprit. I would not say something went wrong, but like, something she didn't expect happened. Right? Like, that's what I mentioned. Maybe she expected it. She kept George alive to the best of her abilities. And like, killed Natsui and like... Not Natsui. Yes, Natsui and Cross. And like, killed them in order to like, save George, thinking that like, if she killed them for the last Twilights, right? The murderer would save, or like would stop the killings, right? Maybe she thought so, but then the murderer was like, dude, you stole 3 kills, or maybe 4. Yeah, Eva stole 4 kills. Eva literally stole 4 kills from the murderer. She killed Rosa and Maria. Then she killed Natsui and the Cross. And out of the 5 that were supposed to be alive, at the end, right? Out of the 5 that were supposed to be alive by the 10th Twilight, 4 were killed in the 9th Twilight. Which I assume is vengeance for Eva just, you know, stealing the kills. Right? Like, you get me? So, I think that's what went wrong. I still don't understand what the numbers mean, right? The Battler's birthday and someone else's birthday that doesn't actually correspond to anyone. I think it had like 21 in it, which is like 9 plus 10. I think that's important. Let me see. Umineko chart, episode 3. Let me see the numbers. 7, 15, 11, 29. You know what? I'll put it on this chart just in case. 0, 7, 15, 11, 29, 29. I was like, maybe you should call it up on the phone, but you can't. So I won't. Okay. Let's keep going. But the existence of the message bottle makes me suspect that the mastermind is a far more profound and unknown person than her. Maybe a witch? Ooh. I looked at the clock. I've heard more than enough. It's time. As he continued to speak fervently, I suggested that I wanted to bring this discussion to a close. He seemed to be aware that he got excited and talked too much, so he quickly accepted this. Thank you very much for today. I believe I've heard something truly valuable. No, it was truly fun to be able to welcome a young lady as a new friend of the witch hunt. I have many precious materials that I couldn't show you, because they changed to a different venue from the usual. I'll be glad to show you them at the next chance we get. Thank you, Professor. Could I ask one more thing? Oh yes, what is it? Professor, why are you interested in witches? No. Occultism and demonology. Well, that is somewhat embarrassing. A daydream I had in my childhood, that if I could use a mysterious power, I could take on even the biggest of bullies. Went on to become my life's work. After all, the primitive desire of admiring unknown powers is as universal today as it ever was in the past. Professor, if you could do it, would you want to become a witch? You still dream of being able to use magic at will? Well, of course! Even though at this age I understand logically that such a thing couldn't exist, I cannot forget my childlike dreams, such as flying in the sky and turning scrap iron into gold. If you would, please keep this a secret from my students. If I told you that I was a real witch, would you believe it? The theory from my few experiences with women is that they are all witches. And snorted at the old professor, who must have been an honest scholar with barely any experience with women. Yeah. One final question. Professor, have you seen the original message bottle itself? I have indeed. In that case, do you know that handwriting well? Of course! I'm not a specialist in that area, but at least when it comes to the handwriting of the message bottle, I am proud to be the most knowledgeable in Japan. At that point, Ange set a book on the desk with a thud. And this is? I have never seen it before. He prided himself on his thorough knowledge of all literature related to Rokkenjima, and he looked bewildered at this finding that he hadn't seen before. Ignoring him, Ange silently flipped through the pages, opened to one of them, and showed him. On that page was an handwritten paragraph beginning with, "To my beloved witch apprentice." And at the very end, there was a signature in katakana that said, Beatrice! This is... The instant he glanced at it, his face went pale. She knew the answer before asking, but Ange asked it out loud anyway. Does the handwriting in the paragraph on this page match the handwriting in the message bubble? Well, I must take this home and investigate more. Pardon me for asking, but what in the world is this book? Where did you get it? The man stretched out his hand, but Ange pulled it back, so telling him not to touch it with his filthy hands. Thank you. Just that reaction is all I need. Thank you very much for today. Yeah, and then I'm gonna write that. The writing matched with Beatrice's writing in Maria's diary. Here we go. Don't know where it will lead. I have no idea where that will lead, but you know. Here's the reward I promised. As she stood up, clutching Maria's diary, Ange carelessly tossed a wad of 5,000 yen notes wrapped with a strip of paper onto the table. As Ange turned it back to him and made to leave, the man raised his voice as though clinging to her, but Ange didn't stop walking. I beg you! What in the world is that book? I don't need a reward, show me that book! Both you and I are in the witch hunt, but it looks like we're pursuing it at the same level. You're entertaining yourself with the outside of the cat box. And what I want to know about is the inside of the cat box. And this book is the key to opening it. It's too good for you! Well then. Goodbye, gentlemen. Have a nice day. But please, wait! He said something he should not have said there. His voice didn't reach her. They'd already joined with Mkusa and gone into the car. Did you find anything? Only at the very end. I was right. The one who wrote the message bottles was Beatrice herself. Hello, dwarf man. Cool. We concluded that the witch actually exists. Who knows? Mind if I sleep? I'll bet that talkative professor gets lost in his own little world in lectures and makes a lot of kids fall asleep. Please, go ahead. Take a rest. That went really well. That guy believed I was a Sumidara until the very end. Oh. The Sumidara family had set up a web beforehand around any people Eng might try to contact. But they had offered a reward to anyone who could take Ashirmia Eng into custody if she appeared. Okay, but like, they clearly established multiple times that Eng is like super fucking famous as like the descendant of the Golden Witch. Especially among the witch hunt. You would assume he knows the face of Ashirmia Eng, right? What do you mean? What do you mean he believed you were a Sumidara? Eng had fortuned that, and that snatched it away. They called herself Sumidara, and after cleverly tricking the man by saying her own subordinates would set up an ambush, they didn't need to worry about it. She had to keep him outside. When the Sumidara family pursuers reached the professor's house, there was no longer anyone there. According to the family, a young man and woman calling themselves Sumidara visited this morning. Took the professor out with them! They still have not returned. There's a chance we were outmaneuvered. Oh, I get it! Okay. She went there saying that laid a trap for Eng, and then went with him somewhere else, telling him, yeah, we're gonna trap Eng at your house, let's just talk together. But like, again, how would he not know Eng's face? That's what I worry about. What a bad child, Enshan. I wonder if that crustiness is from Nisan's blood. You think she'd casually take on the name Sumidara, after saying she'd hate to go by it so often. The professor should be returning soon. When he does, we must serve him some tea. Yes, understood. I wonder if she thinks she's leading me around by the nose. What a naughty child. Giggle, giggle. With a demonic look on her face. She's just laughing, that's rude. Kazumi violently stamped her heel. I'll teach you. About my magic of origins. No, I taught you before, right? And you used it before. Did you forget? You were also a witch apprentice, Eng. With your name entered into Mare Sorcier, weren't you? I was also included among the witches, wasn't I? It was Maya's diary and flopped down on a very high-class looking bed. I slept deeply for a long time in the car, so it took longer than usual for drowsiness to set in. I read the diary as I waited. This was a super expensive hotel in the city. It was often used by the rich and the famous. They were very big on confidentiality. That made it very convenient for Eng to escape her pursuers. The idea that renegades should spend their nights hiding in cheap hotels is a commoner's way of thinking. To Eng, possessed all the wealth of the Ashirmia family. Renegade life was comfortable indeed. Of course, even though he was a god, Amikasu was a man and therefore in a separate room. Who cares? Okay, genuinely, who cares? It's just the two of you. Like, he's a bodyguard. It's just the two of you. The guy, if the guy wanted to like hurt you or anything, he could just open both doors and go to your room. I don't see why you would need to do a separate room. Just do separate beds, like, you know, normal. That's silly. That is very silly. You are silly, Eng. Eng used the bedroom as a suit, and Amakusa lay on the sofa in the living room. According to Amakusa, Sofa's ears were more pleasant than his own bed had been recently. Poor guy. When I looked at the clock, I saw that it was almost 2 in the middle of the night. I'm still not getting sleepy. I sighed deeply. At that time, even though there was no wind, the feeling that Maya's diary flooded. Then, Maya appeared. I just heard a sound. The Witch of Origins will live for 1,000 years in the future. She holds a motherly magical power to give birth to a one from the Sea of Zero. At a glance, this magical power is frail. Okay. Okay. I appeared. Her form was no longer the normal one I'd known. She was wearing the dress that Beatrice had given her. They're acknowledging her as a witch. If you don't get some sleep, it will be tough tomorrow, right? If I were a witch too, I'd be able to use magic, wouldn't I? Yeah, you can use it. I taught you, didn't I? But you ought to use it. You were able to use it in the past, weren't you? I remember. Started wanting to use it. Are you starting to feel lonely? Not really. It's not like having a different pill every night, it's that tough. First step to magic can be loneliness or boredom. Even small reason like that. Even if it's just trying to kill time until we can fall asleep. Yeah. I'm glad you remembered about magic one more time. It's been quite a long time since I last used magic. At one point, with Maria's introduction, I touched the corner of it. I'd opened the door a tiny bit. So I should still remember that sensation. Right now, your power has declined significantly, Ange. If you don't devote yourself to the basics, it will be hard, okay? Okay, genuine question, how long is this gonna last? I just want to see... Like, Kinzo, I want to at least see before the first Twilight. This has been going on for like 10 hours or something. Checking all directions, occurring in quiet space. What about Amakusa-san? He's sleeping. We're opening the door to the living room a crack. Sees a blanket caterpillar and the sofa roll over in its sleep. With magical strength as weak as it is now, the anti-magic power is affecting you too much. Not just the sight of people, but voices, sounds, and even presence of people will get in the way of your magic. Sever this completely. Like how ancient magicians shut themselves up in ateliers to preserve their isolation. I remember. The very existence of humans block magic. Therefore, the very act of showing magic to people is a sign of a high-level witch. In a quiet space for yourself alone. That should be enough to prepare a space to use magic. Next is a vessel. Right now it's important for your bike to be at least have training wheels. No, a chain. What do you mean a chain? Is, of course, impossible. Ange dropped her own head. There were air accessories there, pink gems attached. They felt a little childish for Ange, but she never took them off, not even for a single day. Yeah, it really will be impossible for you now, Ange. If you practiced every single day since then, you might have gained the ability to summon with that by now. I were to start training now, how long would it take? It said that a year of magical training for a child is worth 10 years for an old person. You need a lot of determination. Like Undertale. You mean like Ushiromiya Kinzo? So just like the piano and the violin, getting a special education from a young age is huge when it comes to magic. As you are now, your power has weakened since the time you were first able to use magic, Ange. Don't overdo it, and devote yourself to the basics. Just stubbornly rubbing those things on my head one more time, I gave up, and I started fishing through the knapsack, looking for anything that might make a good vessel. Wouldn't this be a perfect vessel? It's been a long time. Yes. With this, I think even you should be able to perform as summons as you are now. Is it Sakutaro? If you have no master now, it would be possible for you to become their new master, Ange. It's Sakutaro. He would undoubtedly take the genocide route. If it meant him acquiring more and more power, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Among the things that looked like good vessels, I took the one I thought might possess the strongest magical power, and set it on the side table, near the bed with a clatter. It was a shady-looking stake-shaped weapon, with an occult design inscribed on it. It was one of the 7 stakes of Purgatory, which the witch used to offer sacrifices. Never mind, what the fuck? When the police had been searching the family's possessions, they had collected a large amount of junk. As the investigation had finished, this had been politely returned to the Yoshimura family. Do you mean junk? Finding something that I'd seen in the pictures of Maria's diary. Took it home with me. What are you talking about? Originally, there were 7 stakes of purgatory. Oh, pitiful. Now she's the only one left. Nishan smiled, looking lonely. I pulled another book out of the knapsack. This was also old-fashioned. You could tell that it was an occult book just by looking. But its contents were plain. It was one of Maria's elaborate notebooks. This wasn't a diary. This was a grimoire, which she had written as a witch. The 7 stakes of purgatory are Beatrice's furniture. Created by her, and employed only for her sake. But since Beatrice is also a witch of Maria's sorcière, it could be employed by Maria, a witch of the same alliance. For that reason, the method of summoning the 7 stakes of purgatory, and how to handle them, was written about in great detail in Maria's grimoire. And, as another person with her name registered into the alliance, I was also permitted to employ them. Which of the 7 sisters is this stake? The characteristics are written about well in my grimoire. Sisters of the 7 stakes radiate it when you get their name wrong. Remember their names well before summoning them. Tucked page told of the 7 stakes of purgatory. I already lowered Twitch to fucking, what's the word? 720p. This is really annoying. Fucking hate Twitch. Describe the 7 sisters in great detail. Yes, I think I memorized almost this entire page once in the past. The more I read it, the more I start to remember. As the pictures and characteristics written on the grimoire, I felt that the stake in my hand was Mammon's stake. In the past I hadn't had any stakes, so I'd summoned them without any vessel. But it was the first time I'd clearly seen any of the 7 stakes, let alone Mammon. Mammon, the 5th sister, controls the deadly sin of greed. An incredible kid. Greed also controls aspirations, the desire to improve oneself, has the strength to live. It definitely doesn't mean only bad things. She's rude, but she's a girl who tries really hard. I see. You could say that without desire, there's no reason to live. And without love, it can't be seen the reason to live. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Also, iMac. I don't know if I said I before. No, I forgot to say I, I'm pretty sure. The more the summoner knows about the target that's being summoned, the better. Knowledge is connected to magical power. I began to fill my head with knowledge about Mammon, raising the necessary amount of magical power for her summoning. Grimoires can be a bit interesting. This might be a much better read than some lame novel. Read takes me back. For grimoire, it is demanded not only that you understand the letters, but that you feel the world of the space between the lines, giving birth to a world from the pictures, and creating things in various ways. The power to give birth to something. For someone who has that, such as you, a grimoire could be more interesting than any book. I've always known that you'd be able to understand that. That should be enough knowledge of Mammon for now. Yes. I've remembered it, more or less. I'll give it a try. Take care. In case the worst happens, here is my talisman. The Treaty of the Islands will protect you right now, but Mammon is a bit of a quick trigger, and she may still bear a grudge. Be careful. Yes, I'll wear it. 7 stakes of purgatory is furniture used to make sacrifices for a ceremony. Something. Were treated as being inferior even to weapons. I see. But that was only when compared to other demons. To humans, furniture is something to be feared. I fished through his knapsack again. Took out a bracelet charm with a scorpion medal that I gotten from Maria long ago. I put it on my arm. In the past, I hadn't needed something like this. I need insurance. It's okay. That has already been fitted with the required amount of magical defense. As long as you wear that, you'll definitely be fine. Maya's magic power, which had been specially put into charm, had been enough to earn even Beatrice's admiration. While it may have looked like something cheap to a human who couldn't understand magic, magical worth was incalculable. And that's what she gave Battler, right? In episode 1? Arise, forgives a sin. One of 7 stakes of victory, Mammon of greed. Focus my mind. I made the magic repelling toxin that filled my body 0. Imagine an untainted, white, vast space. Without some common sense, all resist magic. Makes the resistance 0, and erase the burden on the magical power. Inside my head was the image of a vast space. It was a nighttime world where I floated in the air, and the neon stars over the ground sparkled. The world were the stars that should have been covered. The skies were wiped away by the light from below that covered the ground. In the world of a vast night sky with no obstructions, I imagined the wind blowing through at will. At that time, in the room where there shouldn't have been any wind, the free nighttime wind kicked up a cyclone. The long-forgotten sensation raced throughout my entire body. It was a unique feeling of excitation that comes from using magic. She's just doing LSD. Like, let's be straight up, she's just doing LSD in her room. My men's state, which I held out in my hand, gradually began to make me feel a pale light. It was a twisting cyclone with a stake at the center. The hefty stake floated a bit into the air. Wonderful! Looks like the gap in your training hasn't stolen your talent. Arise forgives us sin. One of the 7 stakes of purgatory. A moment of greed. Throw yourself to me. True, Mac. After I raised my hand bit by bit, lifting them higher than my head. Oh, it was being attracted upwards. Lemon stake once again floated up high in the air and gradually began to shake. The shaking began to grow faster, and it burst. With speed faster than the eye could follow, it flew around, violently rebounding off the walls of the room. You just need to have more envy. You should envy Eva for... I don't know. Envy Maria, I guess, for having more power. That's how you could beat her. The terrible sound of it dancing around threatened to make me flinch. However, I must not lose my mental concentration. Then, the stake, which had been flying around at an incredible speed, finally stopped and faced me. It was in the air, just a few centimeters away from my forehead, and held back by the defensive barrier created by the scorpion charm. It had tried to break the defensive barrier, hitting into it with incredible power. But Marius' barrier wouldn't be broken so easily. There's no use. Break it. The stake muttered hatefully. It was probably safe to say that the scorpion charm saved me. Think about that. My attempt at killing time until I got sleepy would have killed me my time for all eternity. Yeah, the LSD would have just fucking caused you to have a heart attack from the scare, and you would be dead. Can you die of a heart attack doing LSD? I think the main risk is like addiction and like brain damage, not heart attack. You can always die, yeah, but like not caused by LSD. I already saw this. And it ain't addictive. Ah! LSD is not addictive, you're right. But it quickly leads to tolerance, so you need more and more of a high dose. Also, yeah, I remember something about, oh, if you do LSD, you should have a friend in the same room watch over you. And you should never do LSD alone. Or if you do LSD alone, like, no, even if you do, don't do it alone. Just in general. I know there's a law in France that's actually pretty good. Which says that, like, it's completely allowed to discuss drugs and how to use them safely. There's actually a forum online that you're completely allowed to browse in France. And even, like, older, proper, like, drug kits that are just, like, needles, clean needles and other things to, like, make it safe to do drugs. And discuss how to do them safely. And you can't be prosecuted for it. It's completely legal. Which is very good. It is very good to, like, help addicts not hurt themselves trying to, like, get their fix. If you can't, like, stop them, right? If you don't give them, like, a clean needle, Let's just get a dirty one. Like, it's good. This is a good thing. And I know some countries don't have it. Not sure about America, but I know some countries don't have this. Which is lame in my opinion. Cheap followers on streamboo.com removes a space. Misclicked, I didn't mean to ban him. Oops. When my mistake realized that it was unable to gouge me, it gave up and grew docile, changing its form from that of a steak into a human. I wish. With that same old outfit that I'd never been able to walk around outside in. Although you could say it suited her, in a demonic sort of way. Not Enge? But that magical power is pretty shabby. Are you really Enge? It's been a long time, Mammon. Have you been well? Yeah, I was convinced that furniture that's already fulfilled its function. You gets left to rust away in the closet. So, what kind of sideshow is this? You aren't gonna say that you're my owner, are you? Yes, Enge is your master. Lady Maria! Oh, insightly of me. Was the barrier just now yours? Yes. Thought that as she is now, Enge might just have gotten finished off by you. And enter her talisman. If Lady Maria sends Enge as my master, I cannot refuse. Enge, please, your orders. If it's me you need, are you going to perform a new ceremony? With new sacrifices? Well, of course, that's only if you're willing to handle me yourself and get your own lands dirty. That role isn't something I'm asking for anymore. All you have to do is talk with me like you used to. Yes, if that is what you desire. Furniture is furniture because it is used. I need a friend, yeah. It is an honor just to be summoned. Enge? Mammon had a slightly complicated smile on her face. Slightly. She accepted a new master because Mara had told her to. It looked like she hadn't gotten over her discontent working for Enge, with her frail magical power. Perhaps she'd had other reasons for hating Enge. But for now, it seems that she couldn't disobey, even if she wasn't in the pay about it. So, what should I do? I don't know. We'll do something lively. Like old times. Well, now, this liveliness you're talking about is probably from when my sisters were all together. It may be difficult by myself. Did you forget? That's right. 7 sisters were really lively when they got together. But with Enge's magical power now, I think summoning just Mammon is the best we can hope for. Stakes for the other 6 have been lost. My apologies, Lady Maria, but maybe it would be possible to summon the 7 sisters via my own stake. If I am to be used, I hope Enge has at least that much power. Right? Mammon grinned. Apparently, she wanted me to summon the other sisters without a vessel. I see. Since she's unable to satisfy herself with being summoned alone, she's asking for the other sisters to be summoned as well. I get it. Read. Yes, she was like this back then, wasn't she? So greedy. Your furniture, the times during which they are used, are bliss. No matter how badly they are exploited, being used is furniture's joy. On the contrary, regardless of how nice you are to them, not being given a job is more painful than anything in their eyes. Mammon spoke in a challenging way. But she wanted me to summon the other sisters, somehow, and rescue them from the world of nothingness. If that's the case, all she's gotta do is say so. These demon people can just never say what they mean. Enge, don't overdo it. You'll need plenty of rehabilitation, just from summoning Mammon. I'll need to rehabilitate after just one. Well, I'm just killing them anyway. Okay, Mammon. I've gone this far. I'll call as many as I can. Really? Not bad, Enge. Okay, quickly! Apparently, even though she'd asked this, I hadn't really expected Enge to do this. She upped around, badgering Enge to summon the other sisters. Summoning Mammon alone consumed a considerable amount of physical and magical power. It'd probably be pretty tough to do 6 more. I'm awed by the magical power of those who summon sisters. Like this, at will, with the snap of the fingers. And will therefore reach the level where we can be called witches. Maman, don't make Enge overdo it. She still isn't at her best. What? Enge said she'd summon everyone! Actually, I only said I'd call as many as I could. I guess that's greed for you. Give me a second, I gotta do something real quick. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Don't overdo it, Enge. You should rest for today. You're tired enough. It's okay. I'm just killing time anyway. If you get tired enough, I can just fall over asleep. This time, there's no vessel. I'll have to strengthen the image from my knowledge of the grimoire and materialize them with just that. I held my hand out into the air, replaying in my head the sensation from when I'd summoned Mammon. I'm acquainted with all of the 7 sisters, right? I've got to remember the time long ago when I talked with them. Once again, the power of magic began to fill me up. It lit up a faint and yet distinct pale light from both of my hands. Enge! Hold on, good luck! Hey, Lady Maria, Enge's definitely gonna summon everyone, right? The 7 sisters will get to be reunited again, right? Right? Yeah, definitely. There's no guarantee that will happen tonight. Enge can do it! Please, Enge! Oh, it was a younger sister! Asmodeus, 7th sister. Got it. Oh, I'll call them in order, starting from the youngest. A strand of hot sweat dripped down my forehead. Greedy is gonna be one hell of a burden to carry. Come on, you can do it, Enge. I believe in you. The pale light in his face began to slowly form into the outline of a girl. Come, arise. One of the 7 stakes of purgatory, Asmodeus of Lust. There was no vessel. However, as I held a strong conviction that she definitely did exist there as a core, a form began to crystallize. The outline became distinct, and the form of the youngest of the 7 sisters, Asmodeus, was finally created. But they look literally the same, except for the hair, yeah. You'd barely know. Hello! Asmodeus of Lust right here. Where is this? Am I alive? Asmo! I'm so glad! Mammon, where in the world is this? Who summoned me? Enge did! Enge said she'd revive all of us! No, I didn't. Enge, thank you! Do bells next, please! Beelzebub. 6th sister. Beelzebub of gluttony. Come, arise! At this rate, I wonder how many I'll be able to summon. If I can't focus! This is probably it. The pale light made an outline and formed into Beelzebub. Beelzebub of gluttony, right here. Bells! And you are amazing! Incredible! Mammon and Asmodeus jumped into Beelzebub, celebrating their reunion. I summoned 3 people at once, and my head was throbbing. Gotta summon the next one without stopping for a break. Arise. One of the 7 stakes. That figure of sloth. The figure of sloth right here. I think that I would be needed again. Dauphine! I'm hungry! I mean, I'm so glad to see you again. I think that the 7 sisters will be able to meet again. Enge, thank you so much! Keep it up and do Satan next! Leviathan and Lucy! Yeah, I get it. Please try not to be so loud. Doing 4 people at the same time is pretty tough. Ange, don't overdo it any more than this. You did a good job summoning even 4 of them after such a long time. But Mammon. Right now, Ange is being perturbed with the burden to summon us. Ange, I beg that you do not strain yourself too much. No way! Ange promised! She said we'll all play together again! Right? Ange? You said everyone would meet again! You promised that we could meet again right away! Right. I promised. I didn't promise anything about when, but I certainly did promise. But keep that promise! If you don't, I'll never forgive you for forgetting it until today, Ange. Come, arise. One of those Devon stakes of purgatory. Satan of wrath. My mind's getting hazy, but I'll call. Even though I'd forgotten about those days. Even though I never thought of that time as anything but sad and lonely. Because the short time I spent with them was fun, without a doubt. Satan of wrath right here. What the hell are you people doing? Don't you realize how much is burning Ange just to let us have an idle chat? Satan, who had apparently figured out the situation immediately after being summoned, cried out in a loud voice, telling her sisters off. That loud voice made my consciousness hazy again. We're furniture, we have been granted rest by Beatrice, and it was you that had been finished. Not only are you not honored at being given another chance to be of some use, but you're putting a burden on our new master. You disgraceful furniture. Erase yourselves right away. Yes, just like Satan says, I'll erase myself. You'll erase yourselves too. At this moment, that's the best way for us to be of use to Ange. No way. Not until everyone's summoned. Come here. I'm hungry. I mean, I'd hate to leave you again so soon after being reunited with you all. Don't be so selfish. Come on, erase yourself quickly. Come on, Asmo. Disappear right now. Wow, Satan's bullying me. It's not fair if he always bullies the youngest one. Come on, Ange. Yes, they really are lively. It doesn't bore me. That's enough. You've surpassed your limits for now, Ange. You're right. With 5 of them summoned, and messing around as they pleased, the load was far too heavy for me, with the meager magical power I had at that moment. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad they don't play up Lost, I will say. This is it. The consciousness went hazy, fell over onto the bed. Beds always felt this soft. Seems that the sisters were still squabbling together as much as they liked. But wait to kill time until drowsiness comes to get me. This is enough. Feeling something warm and nostalgic in the sisters' liveliness, I sank into a world of deep sleep. At the entrance to my dream world, I felt Maria. It's like Kutaru, waiting to receive me. You worked hard, and good job. Uryu, welcome back, Ange. Welcome back, huh? I should respond like this. I'm home. Chapter end. Sad music. I got tears in my eyes, and that's definitely not because my contact lenses have been on for too long. That's right. Just once in the past, I underwent training in order to step into the world of witches. I accepted that the only power that could save me from those sad, painful days in St. Lucia's Academy was a thing called magic, and I received Maya's introductions to the basics. Imagine a vast space. It's seen from when I look down at the mountain space from the rest stop at the peak. May Butler is a true stake of Lost all along. Okay, that reminds me of an image. Give me a second, I need to fetch it. It's in reference to what Butler said in episode 2. If you know, you know. at the end of Battler 2, episode 2, for those who don't know, Battler says something along the lines of, I want to grope Maria's tits when she grows up. Like, Maria, you're 10 years too young for me to grope your tits or something. Battler, Beatrice just fucked off after this. Pissed her off too much. So yes, maybe Battler is a true state of lust. Battler, but it's a different time. Back then they were fucking weird. Give me a second. Okay. It's never the time. True. It's just so weird to say this to like your cousin who's 8. I don't get it. Imagine the vast space. The scene from when I look down at the mountain space from the rest stop at the peak. Like this. I projected that scene from a memory into my mental world. Normal girls get over the fascination with magical girls when they leave elementary school. So seriously training to use magic at this age was embarrassing, even for me. But even that embarrassed feeling felt pleasant to me now. Right then, I was learning mental concentration from Maya in order to use magic. But it wasn't going very well. About as hopelessly up, teaching a person to wiggle their ears by showing them. It seems that you need to imagine a vast space to gain the mental concentration for using magic. So I remember the time from my younger days when my family had gone on a small vacation. When I had looked down towards the base from a viewing platform at the rest stop on the peak. And I tried painting this scene in my mental world. Now it's still far too small. Imagine a much wider space and create your own mental world. The image is still way too foggy. There's no temperature in the air, and there's no wind. No smells either. The world is still very faint. You can leave those for later, so for now, imagine an even wider space. Why do you have to imagine a vast space? At the time of their birth, humans have inside of them toxin that blocks magic. If that toxin isn't purified, you can't use magic well. One effective method of achieving this is to imagine a vast space. Now, I thought of the vast world as seen from the window of an airplane, but that didn't work. I can't even think of a world more vast than that. In that case, Maya just has to teach Ange about the vast world Maya has. Won't that make it easy for Ange to imagine as well? Or you? That's right. I'm interested in the kind of world Oni-chan imagines when she uses magic. I'll use it for reference. That won't work. If the world must be vast and isolated. A world with no obstructions other than yourself. If you teach someone about that world, they won't be isolated anymore. That's why you mustn't reveal your mental world to anyone. And if you drop a good mental world, you too must keep it a secret, only for yourself. Ryu. So stingy, Maria. Thanks, Sakutaro. I guess there are no shortcuts in training. I'll make an effort. It's okay, I've been given plenty of hints. Oh yeah, do your best, Ange. Till recently, I thought there was no way something with magic could save me. After all, magic doesn't exist in this world. That kind of thing supposedly nothing more than an illusion. Delusion. A daydream. However, Maya showed me that she could fill her own world with an happiness, using a power that's impossible for me. I used to look down at that happiness as something empty. Because I didn't believe in magic, I also denied everything else, refusing to believe in the happiness that magic gave birth to. But slowly, bit by bit, Maya's world grew happier. In the past, I disparaged it, thinking it too pitiful to look at. But that might have been nothing more than jealousy. I was forced to admit that. And now this was my first step in my search for happiness. A vast space. A dry wind could blow without being blocked by anything. Let me feel that wind blowing through my own hair. Let's see. Even the ground might get in my way as I am now. And I don't need the ground. Brush the ground away. Downwards. Downwards. In other words, it was as though I had floated up, leaving the ground far behind. After pushing the ground further and further downwards, the ground grew foggy and faint, and for the first time, it began to feel like the sky. Didn't Maria say you're not supposed to show it to anyone, and she's showing it to Maria? Then, I understood its vastness. In that instant, I felt the vivid wind go right through even my body. In other words, blowing through me without any resistance. Yes. Maintain that sensation. Yeah, I get it. I get that I've been released from all hindrances. You did it, Ange! You did it! You've taken your first step into the world of witches! This is... world of witches? Yeah! Let's try practicing the magic that you've always wished for, Ange. Magic that will summon friends. Magic that will create allies who will save you from your loneliness, thereby bring you happiness. Would Ange also be able to summon friends like me? Who are you? Who are you? As she is now. They still far too early for Ange to summon friends like Sekitaru, of the Sea of Zero. To begin, let's start by practicing with friends that are easy to summon. Oh right, it's her school uniform. What we'll start with. Because you're a witch and my sorcier, you're also permitted to use those employed by other witches in the Alliance. For example, Sekitaru is my friend, but since you're in the same alliance, he's your friend too and you can summon him. You wanna try summoning Sekitaru one of these days? When you're so lonely you get stuff. I'm sure Sekitaru will cheer you up. Let's see. You could call Sekitaru being employed by Oni-chan. You should summon Gotnove. So as a witch in the same alliance as her, it's possible for me to summon Sekitaru too. I met Sekitaru's gate. Pleasant it would be to have him just be there by my pillow. So he could talk to me a bit on lonely nights. If I call out, will you appear? And talk to me? Who are you? I can't wait to be summoned by you, Ange. Looking happy, Sekitaru pressed his hand against me like a cat. That we're getting a cute younger brother felt a bit confusing, a bit embarrassing, and a bit nice. Unable to understand why I couldn't honestly accept this feeling, I felt tears well up in my eyes. Right. I'll give it all I've got, Oni-chan. Let's practice. Let's try summoning the furniture of Beatrice, a witch from the same alliance. Gotnove, please! Beatrice's furniture. Hearing Beatrice's name gave me a slightly strange feeling. When it came to the crime on Rokunjima, the public kept going on and on in a frenzy about how it was a sacrifice ceremony performed by a witch. And that witch was Beatrice. So if the witch did commit that crime, that would make her the culprit who stole my family from me. However, Maya said that Beatrice was a good witch. By all negative emotions towards Beatrice, she'd get mad, leading to a nasty fight, and refuse to talk for a while. At this moment, Oni-chan was my only close friend. So to avoid worsening her mood, I decided to think of Beatrice as nothing more than Maya's magic teacher. Also, I believe that the crime was a conspiracy cooked up by Aunt Eva. I would definitely expose the truth about that someday. Ange, instructions are entering your body again. Sorry, I lost my concentration. One more time. I expect no less from you, Maria. You instantly noticed I was being overcome with idle thoughts. By shaking my head just once, I imagined the wind blowing through a vast space. Seven Sisters of Victory? That's a pretty creepy name. They're very energetic and fun kids. We might become your new friends, Ange. First, I'll show you how to summon them. Watch! Maya lifted both hands up to the level of her head and quietly unified her mind. The state I wasn't able to reach except by meditating for a long period of time. She reached in the span of a few quick breaths. Then a pale light began to gather in her palms, and one by one, the girls began to show themselves. I'm guessing it's easier in a dream. Certainly. 1, 2, 3 people, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. The way they were summoned one after another in a line was a masterpiece. Incredible! Just like the illustrations in Onisha's grimoire. The 7 sisters of Purgatory. The younger sisters were behind the eldest, Lucifer, who saluted Oni-chan. 7 sisters of Purgatory, right here. It's so annoying to say. Please stop repeating it every sentence, I beg you. Lady Maria, it has been quite some time. Yes, long time no see. Is everyone well? We aren't sure what we are because we are used. To us, being summoned for so long is truly an honor. Yeah, Sekitaro! It's been so long. Look as delicious, I mean cute as ever. Isn't that the Lost one? I think that's where the Lost is. Me first. Ah, he's so fluffy, squishy, and cute. Nah. Let me hug him too, let me hug him too. Don't breathe. I won't run away, so let go of me, everyone. Hey, you all. Are you trying to break Lady Maria's furniture? Anyway, get away from him. Hugging is prohibited. Even though you're saying that, looks like you want to hug him the most, Satan. Giggle. It looks like any interest in something so fluffy, squishy, and cuddly. Hey! Be silent in the presence of Lady Maria and you foolish sisters! They were so energetic. I was shocked by their sudden burst of activity right after they appeared. And on top of that, I was surprised that the innocent Sekitaro was on such good terms with the 7 sisters. Thank you for not setting off Purgatory again. That's unexpected. To think that Sekitaro would be so logged by such shady people. They're fellow members of the same alliance. There's nothing to be scared of, right? But on the off chance that their mood worsens, looks like you could finish Sekitaro off in an instant. It's alright. The witches of the alliance and their furniture are all friends. So Sekitaro can play without worrying. Of course that goes for you and me too, Enge. I mean, you say this, but like... Mammon almost killed Enge. Was one of the pacts of Mire Sorcière. Mutual non-aggression and non-interference. Member witches must respect each other's magic and creations. Even the sisters, who are normally shady and belligerent, treated fellow Alliance member. Why can't I speak? Holy shit, I can't speak. Alliance members as friends. So, to the 7 sisters, Sekitaro was a mutual friend. He was loved by all of them. They were even trying to steal him away from each other. The scene as the squeeze demon loved him was a bit charming. The fellow members of Mire Sorcière, after all. At a glance, you'd think that Sekitaro's casual atmosphere and the 7 sisters' shady one would be like water and oil. It looked like they definitely wouldn't be compatible. And yet, they were interacting in a friendly way, like it was completely natural. If this wonderful alliance could join all the peoples of the world together, I wonder if everyone in the world would be able to become friends right away. All you 7 sisters, listen! Right now, Enge's in the middle of magic training, so I want everyone to lend their power. Certainly, Lady Maria. But what specifically? The magical power materializing you will move from me to Enge. That state, I want you to be by her side all the time. You just have to talk with her. My apologies. But I wonder if Enge's magical power will be able to easily summon all 7 of us around the clock. The oldest sister, Lucifer, gazed at my complexion as she advised this, speaking reservedly. In other words, she was saying that the burden might be heavy for me at this point in time. That's the kind of training it is. Enge has more talent in magic than everyone imagines. It will be pretty tough, but I think it's worth it for Enge to take this challenge as she is now. Starting now, I'll move the magical power, materializing them over to you. So that's why they appeared instantly, okay. In other words, it'll become as though you had summoned them. So what Maria was trying to say was something like this. To keep the 7 sisters materialized, you are continuously burdened with a significant amount of magical power. Maybe you could say it was like training while wearing a weighted wristband. Who are you? Doing all of the 7 sisters would be pretty tough. Isn't that asking a lot of Ange all of a sudden? Thank you, Sakutaro. This is training to become a witch. I want to see how far I can go. With 7 of them certainly using Bolsaurus. But even if this is for training, having them with me will surely distract me from my loneliness. At least a little. Don't overdo it if it gets tough, okay? And everyone, if it looks tough for Ange, take it easy. Certainly. Get it, everyone? Yes, Oni-sama. Well then, Ange. Once again, that's what she said. I read this too long ago. Or too late. But now, we 7 sisters of Purgatory will become your furniture. Hey, Mario, if you would. And then Ange screams in pain and suffering. Pure agony. Yeah. So, Ange, can we stop? Sure. I'm a little nervous. Who are you? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It would be tough, I agree. Even I wouldn't manage. Even Battler wouldn't manage. My duff all of a sudden. I feel like you're getting a headache. Lower your magic power immediately. Okay, I'll move the source of magic power over to Ange. In an instant, the inside of my head felt very heavy. It is. Yeah. Tough. Also then, the inside of my head had only been used for myself. It was almost like it was now being used for 7 other people. If it just stood there and blinked once or let out a single sigh, that would put a strong pressure on my head. Lady Maria. My apologies. But perhaps the burden from all 7 sisters at once may be too great after all. I'm okay. Oops. No, it won't work after all. You're using all of your energy to materialize them. There's no point if the burden is such that you can't balance it with your everyday life. And anyway, this is a bit unrefined for a witch. Who are you? That's why I said doing so many suddenly was impossible. Everyone, erase yourself for a bit. Right. It would be better to lower the number of people. Asmo, raise yourself. Me again? I'm opposed to youngest sister bullying. Disappear starting from the top every once in a while. That would mean I would have to disappear second, right? No, no, no. Don't make a ruckus, that's more Levia. That kind of disturbance will become a burden to Ange. The noise you're making is also a burden, stupid Satan. Eek. 7 sisters started arguing over who should raise themselves first. The injury from that fight all became a burden, forcing Ange to bear an even greater headache. Come on, Ange, you can do it. In the end, we decided the order with rock, paper, scissors, and 1, 2, 3 of them disappeared. We weren't even at that level, Ange was still far from comfortable. In the end, once 6 of them had raised themselves, finally able to calm my breathing. With my magical power, I'll get the 7 sisters. Just 1 is my limit. Sheesh. This way it's not the 7 sisters, but just me, alright? You're a bit unreliable, Ange. Lemon, but when all of the rock, paper, scissors matches was permitted to remain until the end, grumbled. Rude. Who are you? Mammon, you shouldn't say things like that. Ange is still just starting your training. Are you alright, Ange? Is your headache okay? Look at her stretch up on his tiptoes, trying to pat Ange's end. Watching this, Maya stretched her head, acknowledging that this sudden training had been too difficult. Oh, maybe that was a little too much. I'd be perfectly fine with this much, though. The more friends you have, the more fun it is. I'm even more aware of how incredible you are, Maria. Apparently, when one reaches Maria's level, or Maria's class, one can summon enough people to perform in an orchestra. For a witch apprentice! That's so inspiring. Are you okay? Ange? I'm sorry. Looks like summoning you is the most I can do. Well, I guess I'm okay with that. After all, of all the 7 sisters, I get Ange all to myself. What do you think, Ange? If it's just me, will it be a burden for you? No, I think I'll be able to manage you alone somehow. Great! Then please train a lot and cultivate your magic power a bunch. Then someday, for sure, please bring the 7 sisters together and let us serve you. Promise? After confirming that, for the time being, her own materialization wasn't causing any issues, Mammon immediately became cheery again and tried to make me promise to work harder. I see. That definitely fits with her being greedy. But maybe we could also call it having a positive attitude. Yes, I promise. I have to be able to do at least that much someday. Thank you, Ange. I, Mammon of Greed, will surely serve you until that day. My headache finally abated, and I relaxed both hands. I had been clutching at my head. Then Mammon stuck out her hand, helping me stand back up. Who are you? Ah, Maya, Ange. It's about that time. If you don't return to the room, you'll be scolded. Huh? Oh. Give me a second. Okay, I didn't expect the Secretary to talk about the time. I was brought back into reality. Sorry. Also, the light has disappeared. The vast world sunk into the darkness. And I was in a tiny bathroom stall, sitting on the toilet. Only chance grimoire was open on my lap. I looked at the clock. It was almost 20. Time for lights out. I show up late for the roll call before lights out. Not only will things get pretty annoying, but it will cause trouble for my roommates and floor mates. Couldn't care less about causing trouble, but I don't want them messing with me. Sigh. My free time by myself is already over for today. I'll sleep, wake up tomorrow will begin, and another long grey colored day will repeat again. I closed the grimoire and rose from the toilet seat. At that time, sister appeared again and spoke. Hey, Ange! You're forgetting your training! Take Mammon with you. I'd forgotten! The moment I returned to reality, Mammon's materialization had stopped. One more time, I created a strong image of the existence of Mammon in my mind. Jeez, you're so mean, Ange. But you erased me so suddenly. At this rate, you won't be able to call all 7 sisters easily. I'm sorry. I got careless. Why is she still in that uniform? What? It's been incredibly long since I've materialized in the human world, so I'm interested in absolutely everything. It's only 12 years, calm down. You're getting a bit excited. Where is this? The St. Lucia Academy dormitory. What? What do you mean they're back in the dormitory? This is a stall in the shared bathroom. Each room has its own bathroom, so no one comes here. It's quiet, and perfect for reading books. In this dome, you have to hide in the toilet stall, even to read a book. Do they burn books or something? I have a 2-person room, so my roommate is always there. Our relationship is gloomy. It feels like I'm always getting ignored. The atmosphere is bad, so I can't really relax in there. And as long as I'm not there, she can do what she likes, call her friends over and shut away. It's more convenient for them too if I don't return until just before lights out. There's also a library, but there's a group that uses it as a meeting place. They're always talking behind my back, so I don't like to go there. During lunch, it's the bushes behind the school building. During the night, it's the stall in the shared bathroom in the dorms. Those are the only hideaways where I can find peace. I opened the door to the stall and went out. I turned around, signaling with my eyes for Mammon to come with me. I don't really get it, but I realized it would be hard to call this place pleasant for you, Ange. Let's go out quickly. I hate the air here. Really? The air here is most decent. When I left the bathroom, I mean, it's a shitter. It would probably smell like shit, like literally. I can understand why she wants to go out. And entered the corridor, because it was near lights out time. Several kids who had gone to play in other rooms were dashing back to their own. When it came time for lights out, we had to change into uniform pajamas that we hated and called prison clothes. Line up in the hallway and go through the don't leave us roll call. On the off chance that someone was late, we would take collective responsibility, and all of the floor mates would have to undergo punishment in the form of volunteer work. As long as I avoided this, girls would look at me coldly, but they wouldn't get in my way. That alone was enough for me. I then looked at the passing kids and the furnishings of the dorm with interest. Without paying her any particular attention, I hurried back to my room. In front of my room was my roommate, who had already changed into her prison clothes, chatting with some kids from the room next door. When they noticed me hurrying back, the topic of their conversation noticeably changed. They lowered their voice, stealing glances at me. I acted like I didn't notice and went to my room and changed. Then I hastily went out into the corridor. Everyone was already lined up. Hey, this is weird. I thought this was a school for rich girls. It's like a prison. It's stupid. Bakamitai. Like, that's like what the Damidani guy sung. Right? I love the Damidani guy. I played this game too. That's what I think. And like prison, you don't get out early for good behavior. That made me think the place. I noticed something. Like someone to listen to your complaints. It was surprisingly good. Fortunately, Mammons can only be seen by our summoner, me. Of course, there was no need to speak out loud for this conversation. All I had to do was speak inside my mind so no one could listen in. Magic. And the friends it creates. Might actually not be so bad. All of these people are sheltered brats. Feels like they aren't even alive. Yeah. Stop it. If you're seen by some chances, it'd be pretty bad, right? Humans without a fragment of hopes or dreams are like a lump of anti-magic. There's no way they'll be able to see me. Your lower life forms can't even see. Giggle, giggle. Are you okay being around so many humans with that magic-resisting toxin? I'd fight as long as you continue to make me materialize, Ange. Although, since you'll probably have to keep concentrating to materialize me, there's a chance you'll neglect your daily life. Look, that girl you're sharing a room with is calling you, right? Huh? Oh. Shiramiya, are you listening? About a weekly duty starting next week. Already trying to push a few more chords onto me. My roommate, who never even looked me in the eye normally, smiling at me unpleasantly. It'd be easier to have the weekly duty pushed onto me alone, rather than doing it together with her. That's a small price to pay to have her continue to ignore me non-stop. Even so, with a completely shameless excuse, you sidestepped the issue for some reason, and instead of flipping the situation around, as though I should have come forward and done it of my own initiative. One of the special traits of this academy is that it's full of girls who don't know how to ask a favor. Terrible people. Terrible. Maybe they should dismantle this school. Maybe we shouldn't have prisons. You know? That kid, she pisses me off. I'll have to just gouge her right in the forehead. Yeah. I hope you do one of these days. Yeah. I have a friend nearby all the time to complain to. Makes me happier than I thought it would. It really was lively with all the 7 sisters gathered together. I'm sure just watching them mess around would be a lot more fun. I want to gain enough magical power to summon all the 7 sisters at once, and soon. So I'll train much more, and finally summon the thing I really want to find. The truth. What is it you really want to summon, Ange? Mama noticed my conversation with myself inside my head, and asked about it blankly. I hesitated to talk about it, then figured out that there was no reason to hide it, and told her. My family. Dad, Mom. Big brother, I think. I think Oni-chan is big brother. So you mean the souls of the dead? Calling a resident of another world is summoning, but calling back the souls of the dead is called resurrection, and they're completely different. Resurrection is supposed to be a very high-level magic. No. So much so that even Maya can't do it at all. But that's the thing I want to find with magics the most. I've been warned that it's a very difficult, high-level magic. So great that, in the worst case, I might not necessarily reach that point even after training my whole life. Furthermore, I have no vessel. A vessel is vital for making magic succeed, whether it's summoning or resurrection. Because I don't have that, the magic that would already have been difficult is now hopeless. That's right. I have nothing to remember Dad or Mom by. However, by an extraordinary coincidence. Battler, hell yeah! I do have something to remember just Oni-chan by. And that's this. That hair accessory with a pink jewel? What the hell? I hate to say it, but it looks a little cheap for you, Ange. Long ago, without telling Dad, I went with Mom to meet Brother, and we went to play at an amusement park. This is a prize from the crane game there. I know it's cheap. I realize that it doesn't match my style, and I get that it's too childish. But this hair accessory is the only thing that makes me feel as though Battler is by my side. The glass case had been filled with plastic capsules, packed with fun-looking things. It seemed that each capsule had some cute accessory in it. The aim was to grab those with the crane, but I was young, and it was too hard for me. Tried it several times, but I didn't even get close. It's a game belonging to UFO, whoever that is. Just stacked way too high. This should be very easy to get those plushes. Like, look at the amount of plushes there's in that thing. There's no way you don't grab one. A pyramid like that tumbles in like a second. Mom said that whatever was inside was probably cheap anyway. We didn't even know what we'd get. There was no point in getting all upset over it. But whether it was something cheap or not wasn't the problem. The process of grabbing happiness with my own hands felt really important and sacred to me. I wanted the cheap thing inside more than anything. Then, oh, PS3 jump scare! Battler came over after finishing a game of shooting soldiers with a gun and tried to do it for me. With his arms that were longer than mine. Brother grasped the happiness that I couldn't reach. Brother really was coordinated. Seems he often played with his friends at the arcades. After only 1 or 2 attempts, he grasped that thing on the other side of the glass with the crane that I hadn't even been able to touch. True. True, Mac. True reference. And threw it into the exit chute. When Oni-chan tossed me that capsule, I remembered that it looked very, very reliable. For several days, it felt like opening this capsule would be a waste. And one day, I finally opened it up. And what revealed itself inside was a pink jeweled hair accessory. Since that day, it's been a symbol for him. When I was young, I felt that having all 4 of us gathered, including Battler, was a precondition for a happy family. So I wanted Oni-chan and Dad to make up quickly. In my own way, I treated this hair accessory as a charm for bringing my whole family together. So I always used to wear it. I wanted to feel my reliable, fun and wonderful brother by my side all the time, and let him live in our house. But my memories of brother are very distant. I won't do it as easily as Maria created Sakutaro from a lion stuffed animal. One day, I'll surely possess the high-level magic to revive the souls of the dead. And the only key, the only vessel that can make that successful, is this. I see. I did feel incredible magic power from that hair accessory. So that's what it was. Magical power? There's magical power in this thing? Maybe I should say that it resides in you, Ange. Your strong desire to call your brother gives you magical power. Resurrection certainly is a high-level magic. There can be no mistake that you're steadily and unconsciously climbing the stairs towards it. I'm glad. Nice to hear someone other than myself acknowledge that. Wait a second. Your own effort isn't something that you can observe by yourself. In that sense, even though those words came from a shady demon girl who controls one of the 7 deadly sins, they made me very happy. And I can't guarantee that you'll obtain the resurrection magic before your life is over. However, your power as a witch is proportional to the height of the mountain you dare to climb. If you don't lose heart, I'm sure your rival, even a former master. I almost read battler, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean, former master battler? Beatrice. As a great witch someday. Wonder if I can. Wonder if I can become a great witch and revive Onishan. My family. The Witch of Resurrection, Lady Enge! Wonderful! A Witch of Resurrection is a very rare kind of witch. Having a master like that would make me pretty proud. Actually, I'd love for that to happen. Because furniture's worth is also proportional to the class of its master. Please, fast Beatrice-sama, and become a peerless great witch. As a representative of the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, I'll support you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah? I thought that if a magical friend were to appear for me too, a cute kid like Sakutara would be best. But even this 5th sister of the shady 7 sisters, who controls the 7 deadly sins, was enough to calm my heart so much all by herself. Maya has probably known that since long ago. That's why she recommended the world of witches to me over and over and over again. And I kept on stubbornly rejecting her. I should have given in and started my training as a witch sooner. A year for a child is worth 10 years for an old person, right? I find my past self, which only ever complained, deplorable for wasting my precious time. Long after I turned off the lights and slipped into bed, Lemon continued to talk to me alongside my pillow. I promise, one day, for sure, I'll develop a magical power that can summon the 7 sisters, and I'll let them have a lively and fun time. 7 of them make a single whole. None can be left out. Family must be together. I must bring them together. My awareness began to return slowly, unable to stand watching Aunt Rosa and Maria's relationship. I ran away from Bito and Onishan's game, didn't I? I've got to go back. I've got to go back, support brother, and quickly bring him back from this strange world of the witch's game. And after all, as long as I'm here, I'm not allowed to call myself Ange. At that time, I felt someone's presence. When I turned around, I could see Mammon there. Gretel? Beatrice said if you do not return soon, it will become an hindrance to the progression of the game. I feel that, yeah. I beg that you return swiftly. Thank you. I'll go back now. Isn't it great? What is? That you were able to meet Battler. That's sarcasm? Well, if that's how it sounds, feel free to call it that. I'm sorry. Should have taken it literally. Yeah, you're right. Even in this screwed up world, being able to meet brother makes me happy from the bottom of my heart. And you'll win against Beatrice, for your brother's sake? Yes. I've been playing around in the world like this forever. It's about time for him to return home. That's why I came to call him. Please do the best you can. Although I can't support you since my current master is Beatrice. I know. Till October 5, 1986, you are Beatrice's furniture. And eventually, you'll become my friend. But eventually, you'll throw that friend away. After all, yeah. I agree. Maman moaned as if she'd bit her tongue, staggering as she clutched her chest. Apparently, the rules applies to people other than me as well. What rules? Are you okay? Pretty painful. Excuse me, Gretel? No, thank you. I'm glad that I was able to meet my brother. That's my answer to your first question. Let's go back. If I grumble too much, you'll get in trouble with your current master. Yes, I'm glad you understand. Well then, Mammon? Uh-huh. I'm sure Mammon was about to say, well then, this way. But then she stopped. As though the film had been torn off at that point. looked like she's suddenly frozen. Then I noticed she wasn't the only thing that had frozen. Even the air and floating bits of dust had frozen in place in empty space. What the fuck is... Genuinely, the entire time, I've just been wondering what the fuck is going on. Like, I get she's turning into a witch, but like, what does this mean? Where does this lead? How does this relate? A world where it seemed even time had frozen. Yes. This looked like a portal and the burned castle will appear. But the atmosphere was different somehow. I understood. It wasn't Bird Castle. It was the other witch. Oh, are you feeling, Ange? Lambda Delta. The rules don't apply to you, do they? Of course not. Rules exist to bind others? What kind of idiot would bind themselves with them? Castle is a witch who supports me. But this girl is different. This witch supports Beatrice. In other words, she's a being on the opposite side. There's some kind of difference between her and Beatrice. Even compared to Bern Castle. Something strange about Lambda Delta's existence. So, how should I put it? Maybe like she's a being from a higher dimension. In any event, I was still unsure about how to deal with her. The only thing that was certain was that she was my enemy. No, just knowing that might be enough, but... Do you have some business with me? Not really. When I listened in on your conversation, it started to get a bit interesting. I thought I'd let you hear something good. You're supposed to be my enemy. I can't think of a reason for you to tell me something that would help me. The moment I start listening to you, I lose. Bye. See you next time. Don't misunderstand. My opponent is Bern, not you. In other words, it's possible for there to be a topic that benefits both you and me. Sorry, but I don't feel like listening. Who said that? Probably won't be released from this frozen time until Lambda Delta is satisfied. This itself might be proof that she's in a higher dimension than me. I haven't been given the option of not listening to her. All I can do is try not to be shaken by anything she says. Strengthen my mental guard. She probably tried to make me believe something disadvantageous to me. Threatening me. Giggle, giggle. There's no need to square off like that. I just came to resolve your misunderstanding. No, that's not quite it. I came to let you know about the lie Bern Castle told you. Bern Castle lied? Didn't Bern make it sound like your big brother would come back if you defeated Beto? Who knows? I don't feel like talking with you. My brother coming home. I hadn't been promised anything that dream-like. Getting just one person only if I was lucky. Even a promise without very high hopes. But that's enough for me. They're being promised an eternity of isolation. Having a faint, but still non-zero chance. Like a shining beacon. In a way, that promise of Bern's wasn't a lie. Bern promised, but I'm sure that if you defeat Beto, Battlers and your parents will be released and will come back to you. There's no problem. Seriously? That kid is surprisingly cruel. Good thing she'd deceive you, even though she knows. Oh, you're saying I was deceived. Damn, I'm letting her take the initiative. But I won't be released until I land an ear to her. It's something I'll have to hear anyway. Until I realized I was falling into a trap, I urged her forwards. What year is it now? Talking about the world of the game board. That case, it's October 4, 1986. That's right. So if you win against Vito, then on October 6, when the typhoon is past, the people who were trapped on the island will return. On October 6, 1986. That is right. So what? Oh, was your October 6, 1986? You were at your relative's house, right? I've been at the house for the only Sumidara my mother trusted, Grandpa. Got a call. When I was playing with building blocks in the tatami room, we got that call. So watching to make sure that I'd remembered, then the Delta laughed unpleasantly. It spoke. Hey, on your October 6, 1986, did Battler come home? I see what she means. Okay. Yeah, I had an inkling of an idea. But she's saying, because you're you from the future. It's like that one time travel thing, where she can change the past and make it have like a different future that actually works out, right? But she can't be a part of it. And she'll never be a part of it. And that's what she means. But though I didn't understand what she was saying, I noticed an unpleasant sweat sweeping out all over my face. I don't get it. I don't get it. What is this witch saying? See? If you defeat Bito, Battler will certainly be released. And he'll probably return home. He was home in 1986. After all, that's how it is, right? Battler was locked up from the 4th to the 5th of October. It's only natural that he'll return the next day if he were to be released. Right? And you're a person from the year 1998. You're Shiromiya Ange of the year 1998, where Battler did not return. Know what that means? What are you talking about? If my family came back home on October 6th, wouldn't that be wonderful? I'd come home from Grandpa's house right away. Then we'd meet. Everyone would be happy. Yes. Shiromiya Ange probably would be reunited with her family. A 6-year-old Shiromiya Ange from 1986 would, right? Who am I? Shiromiya Ange. An 18-year-old one. No, that's not it. You're an Shiromiya Ange. You're a witch's piece with that name. Strictly speaking, the name Ange Beatrice belongs to a completely different person. You know what that means? I don't really get it anymore. Huh. Huh. Who am I? Huh. And that's why I think Burn's Krill. I think she's a meanie. Especially since it's not like she hasn't gone through the same thing herself. Am I being tricked? Somehow? Yeah, but please don't blame Burn, okay? After all, depending on how you look at it, that kid isn't lying. If Bito is defeated, your family will be returned. Return to Shiromiya Ange. She probably didn't say that Shiromiya Ange would be you, right? I mean, if I listen, I lose, but she has no choice but to listen. Was it like that? Was it like that? What did Burn Castle say to me again? Resistance is required, your family needs it. Started by saying that. Then I spoke. If I save them, does that mean my family will come home? Burn Castle answered that again. Cannot promise that. She didn't make me a promise. It's what she said. I was searching for a fragment of the ideal world that you wished for, the world where your family comes home. Yeah, that's right. She didn't say any more than that she would look for it. She didn't say she would find it, but I was prepared for that from the beginning. But even so, that child promised that as long as I didn't give up, there was a faint chance of it happening. And in the end, she said this: I'm giving you a chance for revenge. In exchange, I promise to search for and bring you the happiest resolution among the possibilities you're capable of accepting. This isn't my favorite chapter. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So far, it is pretty good. It is dragging on a bit, but I'm not convinced so far that this is better than episode 2. We'll see how it develops. But I think the episode 2 is like the best so far from what I've played. I'm probably one of the only people who like episode 2. I've known it was a tough bet from the very beginning. Also, welcome, Bachata. I forgot to say so. Welcome, welcome. After all, I have no family in my 1998. Even just a small chance of shaking that absolute zero. Just wait. I'll wait. Would be worth it. I was warned beforehand that even if I succeeded in my revenge, it might be a wasted effort. So, yeah, there's no lying that part. Ita's game board is perfect. Even having you around makes the chance of Beetle losing so slim that it's doubtful you could even dream of it happening once in your life. In other words, your chance of winning is almost zero, so absolutely that it could be regarded as infinitely close to zero. So Burn can be forgiven for saying that part in such an evasive way. But I can say for sure that she was tricking you when she let you get your hopes up. After all, even if you could overcome astronomical odds and win, the person your family will come back to isn't you. It's a 6-year-old Ange that exists in this 1986, the true Shiromiya Ange. It's just Splendor Scarlet. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll call it that. I can agree. Let me see your full sprite again. Who the fuck has a skirt like that? This is probably one of the worst dresses I've ever seen. This is a terrible dress. What? But yeah, no, she just needs the wings. She just needs the wings and it would be a perfect cosplay. Let me try. Let me try. Give me a second. How do we do this again? Here. Okay. I take this. Here we go. The paste. Here we go. We grab her. Put it here. No. Here. Okay, give me a second. Flangeray. Call it. Okay, this looks good. This looks like a transparent image. Okay. White. Removes the useless part. Wait. Did I accidentally? No. Stupid. It's just this one part right here. Okay. Oops. I want to be somewhat precise. I don't know what this sprite is from. She's probably like lost word, right? There we go. And now, what would it look like if we put that behind her? Oh, fucking hell. Right, I need to... I can do the bare minimum. Here. Bare minimum. We gotta scale it up. We gotta scale those up by like 50%. They're too small. Right? This is better. Pro editing happening in lifetime, by the way. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm such a pro, it's incredible. I wish I could rotate it better. I can kind of see it, like look at it like this. It actually kind of looks like her. Right? I can't believe it. If you told me this was Flandre and I was blind, I would probably believe it. Right? Here. Perfect. She's blonde. Okay, wait. Give me... Here. Here, that will do. And the ad should be... No, the ad is pink too. Just this band needs to be red. And then the clothes a bit more red. Right? This is literally Fandre. Like, look at this. Try and tell me otherwise. Just try and tell me otherwise, you can't. You really can't. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. Look at this. Look at this. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that beautiful? I think it is. And that is rendition. Yeah. I am the artist. It's me. I am. There we go. We're gonna lower its size by like a tiny bit, right? I don't know, 70%. There you go. Fucking hell, I cut out the wing. 20. Perfect. And Lingerie Scarlet. I'll leave it with typos. There we go. Beautiful. Anyways, let's go back to her. Flendra Delta, I like that. I like that. I like that bag. I'm calling her that. There you go. What's her tag? Wait. Flendra Scarlet title. Oh, it's Sister of the Devil, that's what she's called. I think. It's not as funny as Ong Mailing. Chinese girl. That one still fucking kills me. Anyways, let's continue. Ben will still probably... Oh, oops. Ben will still probably go around the billions of fragments, searching for the best world for you. Didn't she tell you? She planned on bringing it to you as a present, but wasn't able to find it. She did. Giggle, giggle, giggle. You're finally starting to notice, aren't you? No reward has been prepared for you in this battle. No, it is the contrary. When smashed, this game ball will disappear. And you, as a piece, will disappear. The sort of goal you be capable of accepting is completely. No, I'll proclaim it upon my name. Upon the name of the Witch of Certainty, Lambda Delta. I proclaim that it certainly doesn't exist. That can't be. That's what Byrne lied about. How should I call it speaking in riddles? Wait. Maybe you misunderstand and think you could be saved. I came to clear that up. In other words, no matter how hard I fight, no matter how hard I pursue victory, my family won't come back to me? Right, they won't come back. With certainty. The Witch of Certainty says it with certainty. Isn't this incredible? Several ancient kings have dedicated historical buildings to me because we wanted to give them certainty. And here I am, graciously giving it to you as a present. Isn't this really incredible, cute, and marvelous? But I have a single good proposition for you. Damn, I'm getting completely overwhelmed. I knew I shouldn't have listened, and I'm starting to be overwhelmed by this witch. Lambda Delta. My opponent is Byrne, not you. Didn't just say it's possible for the two of us to talk about something that benefits both of us. I've said that from the beginning. So listen to me. You have no choice. Okay, I'll listen. I just gotta listen, right? I lost control over my emotions and exploded from the inside. I don't have a clue anymore. I believed that it was Ange. But at some point, I stopped being Ange. That's right, I'm Ange. Not Ange. Who am I? I'm not my parents' child. Not my brother's little sister. I'm just a piece in the witch's game. There's no need to be so pessimistic. I mean, think about it, okay? Right now, you're together with Butler. Well, it's true that you can't tell him your name. At least your position is his ally in a game where he battles a witch. And you're able to be with him for all eternity. Know what it means? I don't stand it. I don't understand. In other words, as long as Butler keeps getting a tie in this game, it will continue forever. Continuing to tie means continuing the game for eternity. And it means that I can remain with Butler as a piece. But if Butler wins or loses, and the curtain closes on the game, you as a piece will disappear. How do you define happiness for a game piece? Getting used by someone playing the game, nothing more. You won't find it when the game's shut in closet, gathering dust, right? In the past, 7 Sisters of Purgatory said it as well. Furniture's happiness comes from being used, not being stored away. That's right, I'm not the witch's furniture. Let's change things around a bit. To be honest, I want this game to continue in a tie for all eternity. And an ending game is an eternal cage. An absolute closed room that never opens for all time. That will finally make Byrne surrender. You know, Beatles does want to win a bit. Victory by making Butler surrender. But that's actually a problem for me. After all, if the game ends, the closed room falls apart. So I'll go easy on Butler a bit. to stop him from surrendering. Oops. Don't worry, okay? My battler's about to surrender, I'll become his ally. But you know, I get the feeling that Bito is finally starting to realize. I think she's starting to realize that a victory won't come for all eternity in this game. Thank you for the follow, Bachata. Very appreciated, thank you. Glad you enjoy the streams. But she is of course the only Switch. Bito's stupid, but she optimistically thinks that even so, she'll surely win eventually. Like she just has to repeat this game on and on endlessly. Of course, pretty much all blondes are morons. You shouldn't say that. That's sexist. I can't believe you would say this. In this game of witches, there will never be a victory or a loss. I won't let her win. And I won't let her lose. With certainty. Better notice that. But she looked for the most powerful piece for breaking the lock upon you and threw you in. To make this game end, you see. It must be true. She never said it in red. No point in time did she say it in red. What the PC's role when the game ends? I'll state it clearly. Your existence is a contradiction. The reason for existing is to bury yourself in the darkness and despair. Which is my favorite character so far? Shit. Give me a second. Give me a short second. There we go. Her. It's her. And also Battler second. And probably Natsui near the top too. Who else? Natsui is definitely near the top. Jessica too. Jessica definitely near the top. Renove too. Really like Renove. Kinzo's fun, but I want to see more of him before I make a judgment. And Beatrice, she's alright. Not the best, but she's alright. But still. There we go. Back to it. How do I close the, here? My goal is to defeat Bito and release my captive family. Yet, even if I succeed, I won't be rewarded. You cannot lose, and you won't be rewarded if you win. So I brought you a third choice, and that choice will make our interests coincide. I'm doing this for all eternity. Yes, as long as the time continues forever, this world will not crumble with taste. Thank you! Thank you. Right, that reminds me. Which one is it? No, it's not this one. No, it's not this one. This one is very old. Is it this one? No? No. Okay, where is it? Because it's very important that I get it pretty soon. Oh, it's here! It's here, I found it. Give me a second, I just gotta download it. Open link. Fucking video. The fucking... Well, never mind. Never mind. I can't use the funniest GIF ever. It's so over. It's completely over. Okay, let's continue. Oh no, he's here! Here we go! Found it! Fucking love that GIF. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Fucking love it. My beloved. Okay, let's continue. It's a world as a game with a witch. A world where Bito and Battler fight for all eternity. And at the same time, it's a world where you get to be with Battler for all eternity. I love her too. She's great. She really is great. My head was spinning. That confusion became a hot liquid, and I felt it pouring from my eyes. It was so hot that it felt like it would burn my face. Right? Ange Beatrice? Since Burncastle's goal is to end the game and end the world where you and Battler can interact, what if you should be her ally? That kid tricked you, you see. She made it look like you might be safe if you became her piece. But I won't deceive you there. So I'll say it, Ange. Become my chess piece. Unlike Burn, I won't offer you rewards based on lies that certainly will never be granted. As long as you become my piece and help me so that this world certainly never ends. And with certainty, I'll swear upon my name that this world will certainly continue. That's not all. I'll add on a bonus. This rule that binds you. I'll clear it away for you. Well, of course, I'll only do it after you sworn to become my piece, okay? In my own throat, there was a thick, loud gulping sound. What rule is she talking about? I shouldn't have listened. If I hadn't listened, I would have remained an innocent little sister, praying for my brother's victory. But I might be different now. I might have been degraded into a witch's furniture. One cares nothing but being by brother's side. I'm not telling you to betray your brother, okay? If it looks like Battler's gonna lose, you can send me all you've got. On the other hand, when Battler closes in on Beto, I want you to hold back a little. That's all I'm asking, alright? Don't worry, there's no need to actually betray Battler. Battler can't win against Beto alone. That's why I burn for you in, you see? As long as you don't let it end, Battler will be unable to win against Beto for all eternity. See? It's pretty simple, isn't it? Giggle, giggle, ho 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 ho, ha 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 ha. Now calm down, it's not that funny. It's not that funny. Calm down, Lambda Delta. Hello, Mian. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Lambda Delta having a laughing fit. Are we still in the fucking... Dude! We've been with Ange for like 20 billion streams already. Where? I don't mind that much because Ange is like a good character, right? And I like the characterization. But I would like to see the game a bit, you know? I would like to see a bit of it at some point. Hey, that's mine! Give it back! And now I'll eat it! Now this is the most important part of Ange Shitty. Trust. Okay. Okay, I trust you. I'll eat it. Asmo, please! Over here, Levia-sama! I wonder where they swooped it from. They were fighting over a donut or something, playing around really loudly. Hey! The voice crack. Ange-sama is reading, so can't you be a little more quiet? Yelling stuff like that makes you the loudest one, Satan. Be silent, you foolish little sister. You're the loud one, Lucifer. Is there something you'd like to say to me? I was already used to the oldest and the third oldest arguing with each other. Even though they were both so quick to anger, it's a bit funny how they were both having to hold back a little. They might be surprisingly like each other. Cackle, cackle. You were told to be noisy, but this is a bit too much. Could I make them lower the volume a little? They can mess around all they want. It's 100 times more pleasant than that shrill laughter in the classroom. Ange-sama, go to the next page quickly. You read really slow. You like to read, Mammon? You look like you'd be the worst at doing boring things. Mammon controls greed. That also includes a thirst for knowledge. Still, she wants to keep that knowledge all for herself, so be warned that she refuses to let people read any book you give her. It sometimes burns them after reading them. I like knowing things that no one else knows. I like being able to do things that no one else can do. So I like studying and practicing, because I want to keep wisdom that no one else knows about all to myself. As Woman said that, her eyes sparkling, she peered down at the page that was open and read through it again. You could see the greed that made her covet that page even more thoroughly than I did. As you can see, my magical power has grown much stronger than it was on the first day I summoned them. By now, I've gotten so that I can summon all of the 7 sisters at once, and I still can't really read a book like this. This place, although I can't recall exactly where it is a quiet and calm street-side bench. I'd been young back then, so I don't remember the details of its location. Still, I remember that my days walking here were a lot of fun. Together with Dad, Mom, and even my brother. It was a memory of a rare and very happy day when everyone had been together. The people who walked by every once in a while didn't notice me, but just pleasantly ignored me and passed by as though everything was normal. Messed up. Even the Seven Sisters' incredible outfits weren't embarrassing or anything, because it wasn't like anyone was actually watching. Come to think of it, I'm getting pretty used to it, as long as it don't make me wear those. It would be really funny if it cut to her wearing those. I was sitting on a stylish bench, memorizing a timeline for world history. In an academy system where everything is based on collective responsibility, there's no tolerance for dunces. It seemed that I was considerably below the average grade for the class. According to those extremely intellectual girls, if I alone improved my grade, the average would rise drastically. They had been kind enough to show me with a graph drawn by colorful pens on a B4 sheet of drawing paper. Just thinking of the effort it had taken to draw that was repulsive. But I've already spat out all those complaints. I've already voiced my constant and furious anger and sadness to these girls here. The sisters were sometimes indignant, sometimes sympathetic, and sometimes mourned along with me. I was truly happy to be able to share emotions like that with friends. It said that they were originally furniture that existed to carry out Beatrice's cruel sacrifice ceremony. According to the occult message bottle I hated, and that several of them even attacked my family. But I don't believe that. Nor do I. Neither do I. It's pointless to question them about it. They are furniture, so they only respond to their master's request. Even if they really did attack my family, I can't hate them. What I really hated was the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Or else, that ringleader of the Shermia suspicion. On Eva. And quickly, the next page. Oh, sorry. I'm tired. Mind if I take a break? Yeah, Ange said break. Let's play, Ange, let's play. When they noticed that I had interrupted my studying, the most energetic youngest sister gathered around me. That wasn't all. Even my antiquators showed themselves. They'd probably been very close by, but must have hid themselves so that they wouldn't interrupt me in my studying. Who are you? Ange? Oh, studying! Oh, studying! Yeah! Secretaro! How are you? Wait a second, let me squeeze him too. Don't we always say that the first one to get there wins? Yeah, cute. Cute, you're crushing me. Luck ran out when you showed up where all the seven sisters were gathered. Give up and let us hug you. Come on, it always turns out this way. I apologize for my stupid older and younger sisters. Sekitaro is happy to meet everyone too. How's it going, Ange? How's the studying going? Thanks. Well, not too bad. They were nice enough to pass around printouts for a quiz that another class took earlier. Their beautiful sense of solidarity is enough to bring tears to my eyes. Well, at least it's probably better to put the timeline into my head. Okay, genuine question. Can't you just, like, ask the stakes to, like, look over at someone else's sheet during an exam and tell you what they actually wrote? Like, you find the intellectuals, and they just tell you what they wrote. Like, the answers they wrote and everything. Why don't you do that, Ange? Stupid idiot. Probably better to put a timeline into my head. Sure, I get a studying, Ange. You'll be able to get a lot of points, are you? Good work. I was terrible at studying, so I'm jealous of you for being able to get a good score when you study hard. You're joking. When it comes to English, Latin, and knowledge of the occult, you're much more amazing for being able to remember so much. Still an idea. 100% they're gonna do that. Either if they bring it up, or they never do it. Everyone, I am here. Hello, Triviki, what's up? I can't remember anything when studying magic. I can't remember anything boring. That didn't help at all for tests. Oh my god, please. That occult knowledge would be like that, but your grades must have been pretty good in English, right? In the first year of elementary school, on the Japanese language test, there was a problem when I was given a picture of a gun. I was told to write its name in 4 squares. Got marked wrong because I wrote the English word rifle in katakana. Why? Doesn't that fit? Well, it's supposed to be the Japanese word for gun in hiragana. I was told that's wrong because you don't learn katakana in 1st grade. I mean, okay, this is anyone who has who's bilingual here will completely relate to being able to describe a concept with a word in your native language, but not the second one, and the other way around. So many times I want to talk to someone like IRL, and I'm trying to say something, and I'm just like, I know that word in English, but what's it in French? I can't remember. It always sucks. So I understand you, Maria. Poor Maria. I didn't really get it. So from that day on test, I wrote everything in hiragana. And I got in trouble with my mouth for some reason. I got in trouble with the teachers too. Terrible teaching methods. You were probably born in the wrong country. Assuming with Spanish. Yeah, it's just it's a common experience when you're bilingual. I also know of a fun one. I watched a video, right? When there's 2 bilinguals that speak with each other. And like, for example, one of them is native English and the other is native French. And they both are bilingual in the other's language. They actually tend to speak a mix of like both languages at once, like Franglish. Where just every other word will be French and English, and the grammar will fit, but it's completely ununderstandable for anyone who isn't bilingual. And it's pretty funny because it happens like naturally. If you watch videos of it, I saw a video like an interview that a guy did, and he didn't realize that he was doing this the entire interview in like Spanish and English. Like every word was like in Spanish and the other in English, and the person he talked to did the same, and they never noticed. So it was completely incomprehensible for anyone watching TV. But still, it's pretty fun. It's actually a documented thing. You can look it up. Okay, let's continue. I'd rather have been born in the country of witches, so could enter a witch school. Ooh. If that happened, you might have had much more wonderful magical friends. Or you. Ooh, it's not like I mind it now. After all, I can use lots of magic, and I've got a lot of magic friends. That is all I need. I'm not the only one. There's also Sakisuke and Sakukishi, the animal band, Shiwada-kun, the seal, Sanae! Holy shit, Sanae! Sanae Kochiya, holy shit! This shit is crazy. The rabbit, Mr. Pitkin, and plenty more. Incredible. The number of Maya's friends keep increasing. Every time I ask, the number of names or friends grows. There's no doubt that Sakutaro is our best friend. I'm a little jealous of all those close friends. What do you think? Oh, are the 7 sisters? Do you get along with them? The sisters are really energetic. They sometimes say shitty stuff, but they aren't bad. I wanted to get a cute kid like Sakutaro, but I think being with them now is more than enough. Giggle. To learn more of my magical origins, I'm sure you'll be able to give birth to friends you like, Eng. Creation is still a bit too hard for you now. There's a difference between creation and summoning. And resurrection is also different. So your greatest wish really is to revive your family? Yes. I have a vessel for it. You have a dead body in your basement? What? This. That's right. Oh, right. I thought she'd like kill someone. Like, you know that roommate of hers? I thought she was like, yeah, I shoved her in the toilet. No one found her yet. That's my vessel. I'm sure that Eric's story will eventually become the key to summoning Battler. The rest is up to your training, Ange. To not knowing how long it take is enough to make me cry. Yeah. And like, when you cry, when they cry is when like the magic is the strongest. When they cry. Umineko. Stay strong, even if it's tough. If you don't give up, Ange, it will definitely come true someday. If someone gave me proof that something that would definitely be granted, at least that would calm my heart. Or you, then I guarantee it, without a doubt, Ange will surely have a wish granted someday. It's not stated in red. Thanks, I'm glad to hear it, even if you're just saying it to console me. It's not like that, you. Stop it, Ange. That kind of emotion will turn into a magic-resisting toxin. The feeling that your dreams will definitely come true is the best seed that buzz into magic power. That's right. Sorry, teacher. You need to be a bit greedier, Ange. Go whatever far it takes to get the fame you desire. You're lacking the willpower to never give up until you get it. Oh, you. This isn't true. Ange's doing her best. Thanks, Sekitaro, Mammon. Praying about it won't help anything. There's nothing I can do except hang in there. I'll try hard. I'll grit my teeth. I'll definitely make my dreams come true. With certainty. Oh, you're awesome, Ange. Do your best. Mammon and I will support you. Yes, we'll support you. The greedier a master is, the more worth will increase. More importantly, Ange, we finally got 10 people gathered here. We plan to have everyone play Shiritori. I have no idea what that is. Or something. If you lose, there's a punishment game. Then in evil years. Come on, is hunger the only thing inside out of yours? Please forgive my Polish sister's stupid proposals. No voice acting for this one. Are you sure it isn't about time you return to your studying? No, I've waited so long for you to finish studying. I can't stand it if you don't play with us. I don't think it's a bad idea. Perhaps playing every once in a while is good for settling the mind. Yeah, take breaks. You govern sloth, right, Belfa? What you're saying sounds reasonable, but you're actually being sneaky, aren't you? My apologies. You are diligent, Ange-sama. It's okay with Ange, I'd also like to play with everyone. Let's make some noise. It will definitely be fun. Here, you. Ange, let's play. Let's all do Shiritori. In that case, let's start from Sekitaro's Uryu. In that case, which challenge should we start the next word from? Ryu? You? From Uryu? I wonder. Maybe it really should be Ryu. Kishi! Ryukishi! Ryukishi! Sorry for a word that ends like that. Oh, I thought it was like starts with it to come up. Kishi Ryu! The word starting with Ryu. Ryuzu, let's crown. Oh. I wanted to go first. Ryu to loot would have been wonderful. Zoo? Feels like we keep getting tough ones. Wait a second, what order are we going? Who's next? Here, you. I don't think it matters who. Whoever thinks of a matching word first. What? That sounds interesting. Oh, well, the person can say the most wins. It's a false talking Shiritori. Then I'll go. Zucchini. Nini Kuritame. Wait, okay, you're cheating now. All of them delicious. I said 3 of them. Bells takes 3 points. Is this your first time playing Umineko? Actually, I read it about 43 times. I counted on my hands. I have 43 fingers. Like, if it's more than that, I wouldn't know, right? That's kind of the issue about reading it this much. Kind of lose track. No, it's my first time. It's my first time. I'm completely discovering all of this.
接続詞は
I've been trying to keep it as spoiler free as possible. Thank you for the follow. Very appreciated. The scene where we play Shiratori is crucial for the plot. Thank you, Ryukishi. No, it's I've done my best to keep it as spoiler free as possible. The only thing I had been spoiled on before starting to read was Evatrice. And what's the word? What's the other one? I think it was that a certain character dies, right? I think I heard that, like, I think Kinzo dies or some bullshit, right? Or Nanjo dies. And then when I finished episode 1, I realized that was silly. And that was a very dumb spoiler. Anyways, can you use conjunctions? If you could use with, then anything would work. Last one doesn't count. Minus 1 point. That's not from me. And I'll go. Meringue! Gay? Who are you? Say that. Umetatechi. Drainage system, reclaim land basements. Oh, do you like them apples? They're all pretty crummy words. Giggle. Do I have to read all of this, really? Is this, like, crucial for the plot? Am I missing something? So what? Then why don't you try following up with something refined? Anyway, that's 3 points from me. The next one's 2. Okay, 2. I've never played such a weird Shiratori before. Ooh, it's fun! Hope you're writing these down. Shit, you're right, I should have. You know what? I'll make a save right here. And if it comes up again, I can go back. I don't get it at all, but it's fun. Ooh, you. Oops. Played normal Shiratori before, but I never experienced a Shiratori this weird. I don't know if I'll read the answers arc, but I'm planning... I want to finish as much Umineko as possible. Right? As long as, like, there's people watching, right? If people actually show up, that would be cool. I'll keep going. And if people don't come, I'll just probably stop streaming it and just finish it on my own. Because I want to know how all of this ends. Because I really like Umineko. This is a pretty fun experience so far. This is why I continued, like, for 4 episodes. Right? Because I like it. I'm now surrounded by friends that are so fun to be with. The courage to accept a world of magic. A world of witches. That alone didn't change the fact that I was still locked up in an academy without a single friend in my class. But despite that, I'm able to have such a fun and lively time. I'll also become a witch. Like Maria. Oops. And someday I'll add my family to this friend circle. Dad, mom, and brother. I will say, if I reach answer arc, right? And I turn out to be right in everything I said, and everything I brought up is absolutely correct, I would fucking love that. That would be incredible. I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen. I am not deluded. I know it is silly to think so, but it would be so cool. Right? Anyways. And if possible, George and Jessica. And the other relatives. And Maria. I guess no. I guess no Maria. I call everyone. Everyone here without a single person missing. And we'll all gather together. This is my dream. That's right. Until I make that come true. I definitely always thought. I'm sure you become a great witch, Ange. As long as you believe in that. We 7 sticks of purgatory will always serve by your side until that day comes. You'll be there for me. No matter how long, you'll lend me your strength. Of course. After all, I'm your friend, right, Ange-sama? I'll never stop thinking, right? As I said, even when I took the, like, 6 months break, I was still thinking about Umineko. Right? That's the reason why I also came back, because I took like a 6 month break or something. Probably like 5. And just... I was still thinking about it like 6 months later. So, you know, when you're still thinking about story 6 months after you stopped, maybe it's a sign you like it. We'd love to hear your theories. I posted them, oops. I posted most of them in a Discord thread. I also talk about it in my very comprehensive chart, right? This is just episode 2, but I've been thinking about it, right? I think I already brought it up last stream. Let me check if I brought it up. Over here. Yeah, I already brought it up. That like no life forms and there are no more than 18 humans is because humans is poorly defined and depends on the viewer. If it's something that depends on the viewer, it can be abused. And reality is not as objective as this. Even objective fact. This is where semantics come into play. What was that? Christmas Lambda Delta? Oh, that was Flanger Scarlet. That pink looks awesome. It is great. It does help me a lot. It does help me a lot. And I called this one. I fucking called this one. I fucking called it. I actually did. I'm so cool. I genuinely called it. Also, I still believe this one. Every episode is a thing. What else? What else is there? There's My Beloved over there. And... yeah, let's go back to episode 4. And that's just Flanger Scarlet. In case you don't know, in case you're not aware of 2, Lambda Delta is literally just Flanger Scarlet from 2 project. Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. I'm nerding out. I played too much fucking 2. Anyways, let's continue. Wait, what did it hide? Oh, because I clicked... okay. Okay, that's good to know. When I minimize the window, it actually hides it from you guys too. So it means I can just constantly do this to bring it back on screen. Okay. Okay, well. Let's continue. Of course, after all, I'm your friend. Yeah, that's right. Let's all stick together and play together. Today and in the future. Always. Always. Until the day your dream comes true, Ange. The lively, 10-person game of Shiritori, alongside a street cut off from time, under the constantly bright rays of sun, would have continued forever. Oh. Wait, seriously? What's going on, Ishimiya-san? In the end, I wasn't able to get a very good grade on my test. Why did he not cheat? I tried memorizing things my own way, but if you could manage anything by cramming the night before a test, no one would ever worry about tests. Now, Money, when you know the problems beforehand, you should be able to pass easily, right? Easily! It's true that we didn't go so far as to write the answers into the blanks for you. We thought you'd studied at least that much. What the hell? Come on, are you serious? I can't believe it. We're almost all wrong, aren't they? Oh, so they gave her the quiz for the previous class, but they didn't tell her what the answer was. What a bunch of bitches. Did you really study properly? More or less. This isn't what you call more or less, Ishimiya. It's horrible and it makes me dizzy, okay? Oh god, please forgive her for getting a miserable grade on such an easy test, and for making the average score for the entire class plummet. Giggle, 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 cackle, cackle, cackle. I'm a voice actor, by the way. You can tell from the emotion I put in my laughter. Same test had been given in another class first. A taste paper had been obtained, so the average score for our class had been unusually high, enough to obscure my slight improvement. However, there was something I had no excuse for. If I spent that entire day studying like mad, I might have been able to get a slightly higher score. But I had not gone that far. After that, on that day, I spent the whole time having fun playing Shiritori. As expected, the winner had been Maria. She was a strong player thanks to her wide knowledge of trivia. Sakutaro had gotten the punishment game, spent the whole time cheering for everyone else's answers. He spent completely forgetting to think of any himself. Forgetting? Is that a word you can actually say? Forgetting? Or is that a typo? Pretty sure you can't, like, do a past tense like this. Or is my English failing me? Probably. Probably. He'd been squished by the Seven Sisters and had his ear thoroughly nibbled, hadn't he? Okay, so it is a typo. Okay. Hey, are you listening? Ishiro-miya-san. They were surrounding me, twittering like small birds. They were annoying, smelly. The outside of the circle was Mammon, an exasperated expression on her face. This is a messed up school, just like usual. Shouldn't you be more than happy as long as your own grades are good? Probably because of that collective responsibility thing. Instead of worrying about their own grades, they're more concerned about how embarrassing it is for the class average to be low. Or maybe it's because they really hate the volunteer work they're forced to do as punishment. In other words, they aren't studying because they want their grades to be good, because of collective responsibility, and since they hate volunteer work. Okay, but wouldn't that be a reason to help the kid you bully and hate to, like, actually do good? Like, are they genuinely stupid and moronic? Like, what's up with this? Like, what the fuck? Okay. They're jealous and embarrassed. They don't want to be inferior to anyone, and they don't want to be emulated. That's the only feeling that drives them to study. What noisy people. If they want to study, why can't they just do it themselves? In the end, without collective responsibility and volunteer work, we'd have no desire to study. How foolish it is to study without knowing the meaning of studying. Still, these guys are really annoying and stupid. Don't you dare disturb Spruce's day for even a minute. I hate these people. Just get lost. I'm angry. Get away now. Hey, everyone. I wonder why humans are so shameful. It's probably because instead of working out themselves, it's easier to make you work hard and earn them a higher class average to satisfy their greed. Humans are all greedy. And they'll burden others with their greed to make things easier for themselves. We'll eventually be reunited with them on the mountain of Purgatory. When they go to the 5th terrace, they'd better watch their step. Mammon controls the 5th terrace of the mountain that reaches to heaven, Mount Purgatory. Since she's saying this, you can probably be sure that after those girls die, their journey to heaven won't be an easy one. No, on the contrary, let them just fall into hell. Class committee went to the student council and applied to use a classroom during lunch and after school. The purpose of use was for a class study group, a wonderful little gathering so that they could all surround me and make me study. I'm so grateful I could cry, which meant that every day, all of my lunch and 3 hours of my afternoon would be stolen. The Academy and the Student Council, with its theme of student self-government, instantly approved of this pleasant activity that the students were taking up of their own initiative. In other words, I was no longer able to escape after school by leaving the classroom. After school, the first class study group meeting started right away. They opened a textbook, then kindly and carefully explained so that even I could understand it. Of course, it didn't turn out like such a naive illusion. After school in the classroom, dozens of my classmates crowded around my desk. Whereas before we started studying, why were my grades bad? What was the reason? It was decided that we couldn't start until I could clearly answer those questions, become aware of the problem, and show regret for my actions. Of course, there's no way for me to respond when asked a question like that. They've loved me all this time, and they rejected me and kept me at a distance, preventing me from joining in on their community. I avoided their community myself. There shouldn't have been any conflict for either of us that way. So even in the group that was enthusiastic about raising the class average, they obviously kept me at a distance. Even if I tried to join in, they would probably ignore me like they always did in the past. If you just asked, we would have taught you whatever you wanted. Right? They were getting themselves all worked up. I've already had enough of the hypocrisy and the tacked on excuse. Mishamiya, your problem is that you're lacking in cooperative personality. You mustn't be satisfied as long as everything is good for you alone. To gather in St. Lucia's place of learning shall have a cooperative heart. It's written right here in the student handbook, right? Having a cooperative heart is what gives birth to the desire to study together and contribute to the entire class. I believe that itself is the thing you lack before you even start studying, Mishamiya. But what do you say? Hey, have you been listening to us? Okay, I gotta say. I gotta say. Bullying scenes like this tire me. I'm so tired to see them in media. Like, every time. And I understand that the conditions are terrible, and I understand that this is like what's driving her as a character. But I'm so tired of reading through these. This one is better written. I will say it's better written. But I just remember the fucking... just makes me pissed off. Like, I think the reason is that I read Worm recently. And if you know Worm, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a bullying scene, and by bullying scene I mean like a bullying storyline that lasts about fucking 1 billion hours. It's really annoying. It's really not fun. It's written so tragically that like it's no problem with Worm in general. If you read Worm, you'd understand. The problem with Worm is it's so edgy and like so gloomy. Everything's bad and everything's awful and the worst possible. And that bullying scene is just constantly in my mind. And I cannot love. Okay, I cannot love. There's a part in Worm where the bully, like the worst bully, would like had been trying to get the main character to kill herself, pushed all characters against us, and stuck her in a locker full of used tampons. They try to make us feel empathetic for her when she gets like bullied back somehow, and like the creator is like, oh yeah, so this bad guy is ruining a life, and you as an audience should feel terrible for her or realize how bad it is that you feel good about this. But like, he wrote her to be so disgusting as a person. And I remember, I think it's something I read on TV Tropes, that in general, in an audience, you can say that a character killed like billions, and will like him more than a prick. Than a very personal attack character, right? Like this. The viewer will innately dislike people who attack others like emotionally, interpersonally like this so strongly over, you know, the mass murderer, big bad guy. And it's very important when you write shit. And I completely got off track, and I'm sorry. But also I'm not sorry because I fucking hate those scenes. And it pisses. If I was reading it on my own, I would be pressing control right now. I get the idea. It's just I hate those scenes. They're so overdone and annoying. Like, I get the concept. You don't need to like bash into my head that she's being bullied over and over. I read that in like 1 billion stories already. I'm good. I'm genuinely good. I don't need more. Plus the fact that I somehow relate to this shit, it doesn't help. It doesn't make me feel better, either. It doesn't help make me feel the scenes are good. It just pisses me off. I fucking hate them. Only reason I'm reading them is because I'm streaming it. Anyways. My rant is done. My hatred has been put out in the air. Now you know. Let's go. Hey, have you been listening to us? We're in all trouble of staying after school to say this for your sake, right? I'm so grateful I could cry. Of course we didn't like that. But it almost makes it look like we're bullying you. They reprimanded me. Fortunately, I'm normally all cried out anyway. If I'm told not to cry, I can hold it back. First I was made to write a letter of remorse and read it out loud. was supposed to be done by today. Class committee politely applied to the student council and the staff room for an extension on the use of this classroom. Seems it was accepted right away, which means that starting now, I'll be forced into self-criticism for at least a full 5 hours here. Ushiromia got a low score on a test and caused trouble for her classmates. That's not it, right? Getting low grades and causing us trouble isn't the root of the problem, isn't it? Cooperative attitude, right? Cooperative attitude. Come on, why do we even have to directly show me out, not to write a letter of regret? Abusive jeers flew about. Okay, but no. Another thing that pisses me off, this is not realistic. Like, I'm sorry, I'm saying this is written well, but no. I understand bullying, right? And bullying is bad, and like, bullying can take many forms. But at no point in time will you ever find a school where the entire class of 40 kids will gather around one kid for 5 hours every week to just make them like do something like this for 5 hours. You can't make me believe this. This is going from like believable to actually fucking bullshit. Shut up, move on. You can't. This is just to the point where you're just trying so hard. The Maria and Rosa is very well written. To be clear, that I really like the scenes with Maria and Rosa. They are very well written stories of abuse and trauma that are like rare in media, and it is approached in such interesting way, and it is like very deeply real in some ways. Right? Like, it is believable, very much so. But you can't get me to believe that there's a school where students gather around for 5 hours every week around one kid. The entire class of 40 kids around one. At no point in time will you manage to make me believe this. Like, everything else, sure, I could believe it, right? Like, it's completely believable that the kids will come up to her during lunch and shove her around and be dicks to them. Right? But this whole bullshit, no, you can't make me believe that. No, and it's pissing me off. It really is. Ryukishi, you fucked up. That's... Without love, it can't be seen. I can't see the love in this. It's Japan in the 80s. Even then, I'm pretty sure you don't do that. Maybe I'm not well versed in the 80s Japan school culture, right? Maybe not. But first of all, this is like near 2000, right? This is 1999 or some shit. 1998. So it's not the 80s. And second, again, and understand, it's not like they said this is happening once, right? It's not like they said the kids booked for 5 hours of jeering and mocking her in one class. They said every week, 5 hours locked into a room, all of the students. You can't make me believe this. You cannot. Kids are evil. Kids are cruel. Kids will bully other kids. But kids don't have the fucking determination to keep doing it like 40 kids for 5 hours. Maybe there's one that's completely obsessed, right? Maybe there's one. But 40? This is bordering on like actual bullshit, especially, okay, it pisses me off because especially at the start of this whole scene, they made it clear that Ushiromia is not the only hated kid. They made it clear that there's other kids that everyone dislikes. That, yeah, they hate Ushiromia because she is one of the most disliked ones. And by one of the most, I mean the most disliked one. But there are still plenty of bullied kids. She's not the only one. And yet they want us to believe that all 40 kids are around one kid. That none of the other bullied kids are getting bullied right now too. It's just her. It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. It's not the same kind of pissed off that I felt when the first time I saw Rosa beat Maria. Right? That was the good kind of pissed off. That was a kind of pissed off that was intended, that was well written. That made me feel for those characters. Plus, I was more pissed off at George. But, you know. Maybe the other kids have their own 5 hour sessions. Who fucking knows, man? Who fucking knows? But like clearly, so far, I have not mentioned a single other kid besides the very start of this chapter. And that was like 9 hours ago. So again, this is badly written. They're gonna continue right here. They're gonna say, oh, for the next 5 years of her life, every week, 5 hours of bullying. Guaranteed. No, shut up. Okay, let's keep going. Fucking annoyed. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I just have a deep dislike for the scenes. It's just every time I see one of the scenes in any media, it pisses me off. But like, sometimes it's good, but this is not one of the good times. I could believe it until this scene. This scene is just bullshit. And you can't get me to accept it as real. She's on shrooms. She's still doing LSD, that's why. She's still on LSD. That makes sense now. Cause trouble for her classmates. Wait a sec, it's pointless. Okay, do you really know what regret means? Pointless. I thought you were a bit strange. You really are weird. The story is distorted. I guess, maybe. She makes herself the center of the world, and everyone bullies her, and no one else is bullied. Maybe. Right, maybe. That doesn't make the story any more fun to read. This is not enjoyable to read. That's the problem. I do not want to read this scene. Then following the directions didn't change the gears much. Now it felt like they were mocking me even more, so for 7 more hours, without rest, without being able and allowed to go to the bathroom. Much less dinner, I was continuously abused. Yeah, because the kids will also skip dinner and lunch, right? Bullying is so important to them that they prefer skipping lunch and dinner. Are you really gonna make me fucking believe that? No, you're not. No, you're not. First, into writing a paragraph that emailed myself. I'm not backseating. Honestly, I would prefer knowing that she's completely hallucinating this shit. Again, this pisses me off. About 9 at night, I was told to stand up and read it. Yeah, you know, from 1 p.m. to 9. Yeah, sure. 8 hours. 8 hours. Like at least of subtlest letters, content couldn't even remember. Everything had been copied down according to their orders. While I had been the one to write the letters, they weren't my words. It coerced into writing them down, and even coerced into reading them aloud. And even after all this time, I was surprised to learn that, beyond just ignoring, there were other ways to bully people. Wow. There are other ways to bully. This is deep. No one even considered it before. This is a brand new way. Hey, read it aloud quickly. Not many people are staying this late just for you. Well, thank us. And the fact that she doesn't feel gratitude, Okay, sure, meows with you. Giggle, giggle. Kia. I stood by my seat, surrounded by them, dropped my gaze, and then I spoke those humiliating words. Yeah, speak up. Can't read it. I had no idea. Also, to read a paragraph humiliating me would be so painful. My throat shook. I would have believed it if they said that they coerced her into writing something like this. But like, you know, out of the class. Not for 5 hours. Right? Like, this would be believable if the class was like, hey, while you're not here, you better write this fucking shit. And then once she wrote it, they forced her to do this. But no. Paragraph humiliation written by mainly eyes burn with a hot liquid. The red blurred and twisted. So the girls surrounding me twist and bend. Twist and bend to the impression I had of them. But worse, there was a true field of vision. Beyond that twisted crowd of people. See my friends. Passion could be seen in all of their eyes. And stay strong. Here you. Maya and Sekitaro were looking at me with sad eyes. I couldn't believe this scene was happening, and neither did I. Probably because they realized that even cheap words of contagion would hurt me. Kept that the TV tried to say something and hanging their heads. What the hell's wrong with these people? They're just the worst. It pisses me off. What's the fun about gathering around Ange and torturing her? Resentment becomes voice. Despite the jealousy, they don't care with hers as long as they can let it out. What horrible people. Truly are. Truly are. And this kind of situation, it's okay to go mad with rage for your honor's sake. Anger is an appropriate dimension. An appropriate reaction. If you don't get mad now, when will you get mad? But don't stare at Ange with cheap anger. If Ange could do that, she would have done it already. You should only get angry if doing so will improve the situation. From an objective standpoint, doing that now will probably only aggravate the situation further. It'd be humiliating, but the wisest thing to do now is to withstand it. Ah, you already are a slob, Delpha. You're stooling around, I can't stand this. I can't forgive them. Everyone, calm down. Become a burden for Ange. Burden? What are you talking about? This is the time or place to be calm? We furniture are not so cruel as to coolly watch when our master is being humiliated. And you have no obligation to read such humiliating letter. If this ends with the entire classroom murdered by the furniture, I will clap. I will stand up and clap. I will genuinely stand up and clap. If this ends with everyone dying in this room, and like everyone calling it an accident, I will stand up and clap very loudly. And cheer. Wake up all my neighbors. If you can't let out a cry of rage, then at least throw it onto the floor. When you trash talk them, you don't need to yell so loud that they bend over backwards. Just throw the notebook on the floor with all your might. Mass child murder! Yay! Hell yeah! I'm clapping in advance. I'm so happy. I love child murder. I love child murder. I can't wait for anything but it. Please. Please. Murder all those children for me. My god. Fucking tired. Oh, fucking hell. Didn't just thought you'd be able to show your strongest will. Don't start running on by yourself, Mammon. I told you, right? If Finch could do it, she would have done so long ago. Feeling resolved by the eruption of momentary emotions. Hachihira doing that will not only make the treatment of Ange even more severe. That's me right now. That's what I sound like. That's me. I'm pissed off. This is happening to Ange when she didn't do anything wrong. Not eating her at dinner. Making her stay so long after school. I hate it. Right, like, okay. Another believable thing would have been if they booked such a room, and then like if most of them besides the bullied kids, including Ange, were just locked in the room while everyone else went to do something else. Right? And they just locked them for 5 hours inside this room and forced them to like sit there. That, if you told me that that was possible, if the teachers were in on it too, sure, I could see that, but this is not. This, shut up. Possibly stand there a big dissimulation. Are you really listening to us? I'm tugging my hair. I was thrown back into my tragic reality. I was no longer even permitted to listen to the seven sisters speaking on my behalf in my heart. My hair was lifted upwards when my ornaments came off. Sound of it rolling on the ground. I picked it up. I casually avoided it as though something filthy was rolling towards them. I blinked with my eyes, but my hair was tugged upwards again. Why do you never listen to us even until we're talking about something so serious? One ear and out the other, is it? Doesn't mean anything get into that thick skull of yours. Get a grip, okay? Already conscious of the trouble you're causing us? You aren't going to start saying that you just wrote it grudgingly because we told you to, right? Don't really show regret of your own will. Seriously ain't gonna end, okay? Not just for today. It's every day? Shut the fuck up! Every day? Go fuck yourself. Don't you play us for fools, okay? Oh, you're still living life. This is so bad. This is so badly written. It sucks. Is it normal to go on living like this? Or me and just die. You can't live like this, can you? Because you're being alive. Yeah, that's what you sound like, bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't call her bitch. She's 5. Shouldn't say that 5 years old. That's rude. If you were me, I definitely couldn't live on. I'd die too. I'm doing that's better for the world, and I'd die right away, right? And die. Ange. Kill all of them now! Lucifer, can you hear me? You 7 sisters are incredible furniture that massacre mere humans in a flash, right? You're always boasting about it to me. Then do it! Massacre them now! Right now, right here, right now! Well, for some reason, Lucifer hesitated. Why? What's wrong? You're a certain kill furniture that can fly around faster than I can see and instantly pierce the hearts of witches' enemies, right? And I'm giving you an order as your master. Carry it out right away. Kill them all! And please calm down. I had immediately followed my brutal order, making heaps of corpses with me at the center. I was ready to reflect on my own reckless action of stealing human lives so readily, ready to regret and repent, just as they had wanted me to. I was prepared to do that. But Lucifer just let out an unsure expression rise to her face, and didn't move to carry out my order. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it, vaguely. It's not right. I've known from the beginning. Known that magic was all empty this whole time, haven't I? Was that the entire point of the scene? That sister's obligatory? Yeah, right. Stupid. But pointless. I've known it the whole time. Ange. Glaring into the worthless Lucifer's eye, pain seemed to accompany that gaze. So she was being assaulted with a violent headache. She grasped her head with both arms. It looked like she couldn't tear her eyes off my gaze. She was assaulted with pain that grew more and more violent. Useless. Useless. I hate you! Disappear! Listlessness and disappointment. Resignation and a dream's end. Cracking sound, like you'd hear from a frozen lake surface during a fierce winter, rang out just once. At the same time, Lucifer's form, being tormented by a violent pain, stiffened in place and grew cloudy. It was almost as though a beautifully polished glass window had been artlessly smashed and turned white from the countless fissures. And that was an accurate analogy. At some point, Lucifer's form had turned into a glass ornament of the same shape. Countless fissures ran through it from the inside, as the end and arms collapsed, tumbled to the floor. Eek! Lucy! Who is the second sister? Leviathan? Carry out my order. Massacre them right now! No, Ange! Just come out and listen, we, Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's the wrong kind of child murder. It's not the good kind. Not looking for excuses or backtalk to answer. I want nothing more than swift completion of my order to eradicate these girls who are humiliating me. If you're going to say anything else, there's no need for me to listen until the end. The Leviathan also turned white due to countless cracks throughout her whole body. She fell over backwards, splitting into several parts, along her neck, hips and arms. She'd been smashed to bits and lost her original form. Probably would have been so brutal. Seeing the two of them halfway left over made the remaining younger sisters shake even harder. Why won't you listen to my orders? Why? Why? My apologies. Here, under the current condition, the anti-magic power is extremely strong and... You can't do it because humans are here? That's your logic? Isn't killing humans what you do? If you don't do that, then what use are you as furniture? Die! Eek! Please spare me, Ange! Using golden sorcerer. Yeah. This explains why Mammon wanted to kill her at first. Can't do it because there are too many humans. And later on, I'll catch them into the shadows one by one. And you can make a bloodbath of all of them, right? You carry magical power. Maybe easy for you to converse with us. However, you still lack the training to materialize us in front of all of the humans here. I can understand your anger, but even if you could use us to attack, murder everyone here, it would only make your situation worse. I was simulating. Please control your anger for the time being. I think that's like one of the best tracks in all of Umineko. It's so good. It makes the entire bullshit before worth it. I know it's simulating, but please control and get the same answer from the next three. Are you gonna tell me you can't do it because the anti-magic power is too great? Or are you gonna tell me you can't do it because my magical power is too weak? They don't ask you to kill all of them. Just one person's fine. Try and kill them. Ready right now. As Asmodeus and El Beelzebub yell at each other, they crouch down, cringing in fear and then they glare. If they'd been able to obey my order, probably would have carried it out immediately. And yet here they were, crouching down. Empty. Sad. Pathetic. That's right, I've known. These girls can't even touch reality with one of her fingers. No, no. All of them scared, Belle. And spare us, spare us. I don't want to die. Die, useless furniture. Why are you guys even alive? Why are you alive when your lives are worthless? Doesn't matter if you die, right? Die. I'm telling you to die. Do you think any idiot will leave furniture that has no use lying around? Please stop, Ench. What is it, Mammon? Are you gonna be the only one to fulfill my order? That's right. You're my best friend. You alone will do it for me. Get them. Here are now. Ench, even if you use us, you are incapable of committing murder. It is furniture duty to help with things their masters can do. Things that even the master can't do, we can't do. Do you hate them, Ench? You do hate them, right? Don't only understand why you want to kill them. Okay, in that case, go ahead and kill them, Ench. If you stain your own hands with blood, then we, the seven, will go along with you however far you go. Am I skinning you all because I can't do it myself, aren't I? Isn't being able to do things that can't the thing that make you furniture? Yes, we are furniture to be used. Please go ahead and use us to kill. You'll be the one killing, Ench. If you think that you want to kill, then go ahead, be my guest. Don't need to hesitate. Go and carry it out right now. Once you prepare yourself mentally, once you're prepared to dirty your hands, then we'll help you. If you haven't done that, Ench, it's P furniture. You delusion! I get it already. You don't have all to tell me. You people can't do anything. You're nothing more than my delusions. Illusions. Daydreams. I haven't had a single friend from the very beginning. Just a phantom, a burdened friend I created in my heart, in my isolation. Right? I've known from the very beginning! Yeah, that's right! We're an illusion inside your head, Ench. But so what? Yes, that's true. We're just imaginary friends created to soothe lonely Ench's heart because she doesn't have a single friend. But so what? If you want to look at reality, just look at it. You can stop looking at us and return to being surrounded and bathed with jeering over there. Go back, welcome home to reality. Just go on this when it's convenient for you and pretend you have friends. Get first on even though you don't have the guts to dirty your own hands. Then deny and erase us once you realize that it's hopeless. Yes, please enjoy it. I'll leave a shriek of anguish just like you want, Ench. Go piece of jeering that you're being showered with right now. There's the same to us to get it off your chest. That's also furniture's duty. Getting slammed against the floor when someone's pissed off is also a chair's important duty. If that alone can solve a master's bad mood for even an instant, there can be no greater honor for a furniture. You only deny me your first and final friend. The end. Mammon had a mocking expression on her face. But for some reason, it looked splashed with tears. Mammon, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, smashed and fell to the floor. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Reasonable crash out. It is very bad. And honestly, Mammon at the point, at a strong point. But if I lived in bullshit fantasy land where people somehow gather around for 5 hours and some bullshit, that would make sense. That would be a reasonable crash out. In a situation like this, that would be a reasonable crash out. If it was more believable bullying, that wouldn't have been reasonable. And I think that's why they had to make a scene like this. But like, if the context was any less worse and more believable, then, you know, that's too far. It's, even if it's delusions, even if it's an imaginary friends, right? If they're helping you, and they help you cope, they help you like through your life, and you have like no other issue, if it's not like impacting you, destroying your life, it's fine. It's completely fine. But I'm approaching this from like a somewhat realist perspective, right? This is why I'm doing this. I'm approaching this from a real perspective because I know you could say this is magic and magic problems and wow. But this would be completely fine, and this would not have been a reasonable crash out, and like it would have been a big mistake that she's making. And I'm sad for her and them, right? Is this what's true? I would really be. But this is a reasonable crash out because this is the world of Fantasyland where people gather around for 5 hours every day to bully one kid. You'll get me to believe that. Rikishi, you perfect writer. And therefore, if reality is going to be this bullshit, at this point nothing matters. I don't know. Again, I'm just pissed off at the writing. If this was written better, I would feel much worse. The fact, okay, I do want to point it out. I do want to bring it up because like I've been aiming on it for the entire thing, right? And I've been a dick. I've been like annoying about it, repeating it multiple times. But I do want to say that in spite of this, in spite of all this, I still have tears welling up in my eyes. Right? I do want to point that out because otherwise it wouldn't be fair to the game. Okay? I do want to point it out. But fuck this writing. It just pisses me off. I can't lie about that because that would just be, you know, misinformation. And we don't do fake news here. But, you know, it gets me every time. The fact that it got me, despite me being so pissed off moments earlier, right? It got a part of me, like, deep down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking back the statement. Not reasonable crash out. Not reasonable. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop the stream here. It's been soon to 4 hours, and I'm getting too emotional to continue. So, I can't. I can't continue. My apologies, everyone. Not this scene. Bit too much. Bit too much. Thanks for streaming. Thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate all of you coming by. Very appreciated. But I wanted to like finish the chapter, right? I wanted to at least finish the chapter, but this I genuinely can't handle anymore. Right? Like I've been aiming on the scene and whatnot, but this I can't. I can't. You know. It is how it is. It is how it is. It is how it is. Bye bye everyone. Have a good night.